I'm afraid that I don't break. I heard you question my stability. You think I'll fall just like a guillotine, but I am here to stay. Won't look away. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control, feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne. So you wanna be my enemy? You should've known I'd never kiss the rain. Ice runs in my veins, won't play it safe. I don't belong with your nobility. Who died and made you king of anything? You think that I'm insane? It's your mistake. Kingdoms rise and fall, I've come to take it all. I'll take it, I've come to take it. Kingdoms rise and fall, I've come to take it all. I'll take it all. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control, feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. Coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne. They'll be calling me, calling me. They'll be calling me royalty. Best to give me loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, calling me. They'll be calling me royalty. They'll be calling me royalty.
I'm back. I know the YouTube community missed me. I know you're watching. You thought you were getting away with it. I don't think so. I don't think so. But no, I'm back. It's good to be back. You know, real life sometimes can be a pain. But you know what? It doesn't let you do all of the things that you want to do. Does it? Real life? That's how it is, man. We are back, though. Today, we are going to be talking about a lot of Tottenham stuff going on, a lot of Tottenham news. And we are going to be chatting about Harry Kane. Is he staying? Is he going? We don't know. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. You know, 50%. You know, guys, I'm the stat man. 50% of our viewers are not subscribed. It's free. Do us a favor. Hit that subscribe button. But we are back. We are ready to go. All of that good stuff. And we're going to be talking about Harry Kane for the first hour of the show. The link is pinned to the top of the chat. If you want to have your say, just click the link there. Only requirements is that you wear pants and you don't flash your gifts that God gave you on stream. That's the only requirement. Don't have to be a Tottenham supporter. Don't have to be a Tottenham fan. But you do have to wear pants or trousers or whatever. You can come in topless if you want to. I would prefer that you don't, but you are able to do so. But you got to be wearing pants or trousers or, you know, whatever you call it in your neck of the woods. But yeah, tonight in the first hour show, we will be talking about Harry Kane. Is he leaving or is he going? Well, you know, as soon as somebody joins the show and jumps on there in the back, we'll bring them on. We'll talk about that. But before we do that, we will go over some of the Twitter rumors and the Twitter stuff that's going on. You guys know how we all love Twitter. And then in the second half of the show, hour 2, we will be talking about some of the statistics, going over the new signings, who we've got, who's coming in, who's came in, are they any good, and all of that fun stuff. So make sure that you have hit that like button and that you subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell if you want to know. We got a lot of shows coming up and planned and all that good stuff. All that kind of good and fun bits that we like to do. But let's look at the comments here and see who is... and then, you know, if the conversation doesn't take as long as it is, then, you know, we can talk about other stuff, Arsenal stuff, other football related stuff, and all of that good stuff. Got a little bit of change in the lighting back here if you haven't noticed. You know, I just like to mix it up every day. A good, you know, like Mr. Box Office likes to say, sometimes you got to reset and refresh. You know, so, you know, you like to change things up every now and then to let people, just to make myself feel good, you know. That is how it is. But let's say hello to all the folks that are in the chat. We got Tony Kemp. Tony Kemp is watching the show. Big up, Mr. Kemp. So we have Dyer, Sanchez, Davies is still here. I've had enough. Yeah, I don't know why they're still here. I did see on Twitter today that there was some kind of like crazy debate or whatever that Ange Postecoglou had told Daniel Levy that he wanted a new center back on the plane to Australia and that he was upset that that didn't happen. And then you had all of the Twitter ITKs kind of arguing in the comment section of that post there, saying they weren't so sure. They weren't so sure. But I'd be upset if I had to start the season with Eric Dyer, Davis and Sanchez. Not even a long lay. We don't even have a long lay. Like, you know, it is what it is. VDV still ain't signed. Tapsoba still ain't signed. Nobody's signed on the center back front. And that is the main position that we need. Yeah? Am I wrong? Am I wrong in that assessment of we need a center back? But they're coming, Will. Don't worry. I believe it when I see it, buddy. I'm from Missouri, the show me state. You gotta show me. I'm a skeptic from birth. But we got, let's see, we got Brian McGuire's also in the house, a channel member. You can also become a channel member if you want to. You know, I gotta talk to the guys. We gotta do something for the channel members to make that a little bit more. Right now, if you're a channel member, you should be a moderator on the channel. If you're not, let me know. Put a comment down below, and I will make you one right now. Or if you want to be a moderator and all of that good stuff and a channel member, just hit the join button, man. We got levels starting down. The Levy level at 99 cents a month, dude. You can't know. I don't know anybody who can't afford 99 cents a month, right? Maybe there's somebody out there, and if you can't do that, that's fine. But we appreciate all of those that do. And then we got going all the way up. You can be a 4-star general. You can be a captain. You got all the Tottenham away levels and all that fun stuff. Get you into the moderation mode. Get you into being a supporter and a member of the channel. We appreciate you guys too. Also, too, super chats will take priority. If you put in a super chat, I will read it out live on screen. You know how this show goes. When it gets hot and when it gets bothered and we get people rolling around, sometimes we don't catch the comments as much as we would like. But let's see who else is in the comments. Mr. Scott M. Mr. Canada with the purple Canadian leaf. We've got here, says, if he stays, he loses a ton of respect from me, which should be his number one concern. I'm concerned about that, Scott. If I lost Scott's respect, I don't know how I'd live with myself. But who else we got? We got Sleo. Kind of scared me once it started. Yeah, I decided, since I was here sitting at the desk and the warm-up stuff, the warm-up phase is about 5 minutes or so. I could start 5 minutes early. Just get the show rolling right at 8 o'clock. Because if I'm just sitting back here doing nothing, might as well hit go, right? Does that make sense? We got LA 007. What's up, my man? Good evening to you too. There is the link right there if you want to jump on the show and have your say. What you think Harry Kane is gonna do, just click the link and join the show. We got Reload XAXXXXX. He's my FPL guru. Leave you wanting this Kane talk in the press. It's distracting fans from other issues like no center backs. Classic media trick. I don't know about that. Let me see if I can find my aluminum hat. But I don't think that he does want it. I think that Bayern Munich's putting it in the press to kind of put pressure on Harry Kane and Daniel Levy. That's my conspiracy theory. Especially with the tweets that came out today. It's been all over the Twitter worlds and all that good stuff. What other good comments? Will, did you see that cringe AFTV Rice song? It was so badly out of tune. They did him dirty with no auto-tune. I didn't see it. I'm kind of behind on my Arsenal news, to be honest with you. And who else we got? Iggy Prince, my man Iggy's in the house. Big up, man. Big yourself up, my man. Iggy Prince TV is in the house. Sleo says, thoughts on the third kit? I like the third kit, the gray shirt. I don't like the away kit, the one that's like slate gray with the other shades of grayish blue in it. It's not the collar that bothers me, it's just the color scheme of it. I don't dig it. I'm not feeling it. It looks like they just took a color swatch. Like if you're into graphic design or any of those things, they have like these little, color swatches of all the colors that match. and they just kind of selected the first 3 on that and decided, let's go with that. But who else we got? We got Shaquille's in the house. Big up, my man Shaquille, another channel member, says, I think he's leaving. And we got one guest in the back. If you could send me a message and let me know that you're wearing pants, I'd greatly appreciate it because I don't recognize your name. We've got send it in the private chat there. You got, who else we got? We got Shaquille. Big up the panel. Big up Will. Big yourself up, my man. Brian McGuire. I'm hoping I'm in the wrong. It needs to be sorted ASAP. I'm getting sick hearing about it. Yeah, me too, man. We got Chelo Vera. Big up Will. I don't care if he stays or leaves. Without a new contract, it doesn't matter, to be honest. I think it does matter. I think that there's going to be some things that matter. You got to get money for him. You can't let a talent like that walk out the door for free. I've heard some silly arguments like he didn't cost us anything, so keeping him around this season, blah, 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 doesn't cost us anything if we get back into Europe. It does, because then the next season we have to replace him without any financial support, and we'll fall straight down the table again, right? So wouldn't the better thing be to buy a striker, a replacement, somebody like a Vlahovic or a Tony or somebody who is definitely not going to be as good, but somebody who maybe were the drop off is say 60%, right? And then you can work in the Postecoglou system, right? It may struggle this season, right? Maybe Europa League is as high up the table as we get, if we're lucky. But then you continue to build for the future, and you've made that gap a lot smaller, and you have the financial support, because we all know that Daniel Levy ain't going into his pocket to sign anybody, is he? Right? So that's how that one works. So I think if he's gonna go, we got to get money for him, right? And so if that means he's got to leave this season, then he's got to leave this season. We got Delon here, Declan Rice Day. Yeah, they finally announced that one. I think. Look, I'm gonna piss some Arsenal fans off. I don't care. I've been getting some interesting threats from Arsenal fans in my Instagram box. I don't check my Instagram messages all that much. If you really want to troll me or cuss me out, Twitter's the best way to do that. But I did find one, and I guess Arsenal fans didn't like the banter that I've been giving Arsenal last season. I think y'all overpaid, man. I think y'all overplayed. I don't think Declan Rice is worth what you paid for him. I think you're going to be sadly underwhelmed with his performance this season. Just saying. And I think the statistics back me up on that. Batter's in the house too. Big up Batter. Can't be any badder than Batter. I know I pronounced your name wrong, but I like Batter better. Who else we got? We got RW. The chat shifted. RW's in the house. Rice to 105 million. I mean, that's crazy. Yeah, that is crazy. I agree with you, right, RW? That is an absolute big, giant mistake. Who we got? Let me see the private chat. Calling in with opinions. Okay, but I need to know less accounting, more football. I'm fine with you calling in with opinions. I just need to know that you're wearing pants and you're not going to show your twigs and berries on stream. That's it, right? So if you can confirm that for me, that you're not going to come on and flash your wee-wee, I will definitely bring you onto the stream. Can confirm, geezer. All right, sounds good. Who else we got in the chat here? We haven't said hello to already. Robert Yee's in the house. Big up, my man. Hello. We got 70 people watching. Make sure we get those up to 70 likes real quick. Let everybody else that we're knowing live. 71. Let's see. Reload again. We got Ron in the house. Big up, Ron, my man. Diesel. Ron Diesel in the house. Hotspur 82 is in the house. If Kane is going to stay, he would have put an end to all this rumor nonsense already. Don't be fooled by the fact he's with the rest of the squad down under. Yeah, I'm not fooled by that. I mean, if the Bayern links are true, it sounds like he's already committed himself to Bayern Munich, and that he wants to go. Although I have heard some other contradictory Twitter posts today, of course, saying that Harry Kane is happy to stay this season. Well, of course he's happy to stay this season, because then he can leave on a free at the end of it and make big bank. Big up, Lisa. Hope things are doing well for you down in Mexico. It's got to be hot down there, or maybe not. Maybe like it's the weather's kind of stable. I don't know, but it's pretty hot. Like even right now here in Atlanta, it has been a very mild summer so far in Atlanta. I will say that, but we're rocking at 90 degrees at about 8 p.m. So it's getting up there, man. It's getting up there, 90 degrees at 8 p.m. For people that don't know, that's like I think it's like, I don't know, Celsius. I can't do math. It's like 35, 36. I don't know. Somebody tell me in the chat. You guys are smarter than me. We got the Cavemans in the house. Hope Panama wins tomorrow. And we have got Dell 1882 in the house as well. Big up, Dell. Can't you YouTube channels leave him alone? Leave who alone? Who are we? What are you talking about, my man? Who do you want me to leave alone? Arsenal? Declan Rice? Lisa says it's like a sauna. But let's start bringing in some of the guests that we've got tonight. First guest is also a member of the channel here. I don't have your thing on here, so let's see. We'll just have to pick one. We'll go with this one. And you know him, you love him. One of our partners in crime here on Tottenham Away, the man himself, Mari. I don't know what to call you anymore because you're Mari. Is it like, what do we call you now?
Isn't it Mari on the screen? No.
Yeah, but Mari, but like it was Mari from Mari's Spurs channel, but we don't have that anymore. So what do we call you now? Mari, what you got? You need a nickname now, Mari. You know, Stell's the coach. I'm THFCRants. You know.
Hype man.
Mari the hype man.
Hype man. For the hype.
Think about it. I think you can come up with better.
I don't know. Mari.
Caveman says the madman.
Madman.
32, 34. It's gotta be hotter than that. 90, ain't it? No, maybe.
It's hot here in Florida. Scorching.
There you go, Michael. What about Atlanta? Is it hot in Atlanta? Or I mean, Orlando?
Yeah, it's scorching. It's scorching hot.
Usually it is around this time of the year. For my real job, there's a fishing trade show called ICAST. It's down in Orlando every year. I'm sure you saw a bunch of people rolling around in weird trucks and stuff, and around the convention center. I don't know how often you get down there on
I drive, yeah.
International or whatever that I drive, but there's a lot of people down there this week. And
Lisa, I will be in Mexico next week visiting the girlfriend, so I'm prepared for the weather. It'll be hot next week.
We got maybe something like that. We'll call you Poppy or something, you know?
Poppy, yeah, Big Poppy.
Big Poppy.
Yeah.
I like that better than Madman or
that.
We also got in the back, we got less accounting. Let's see here what we're gonna do for less accounting. Bring up less accounting here. First time caller, maybe he's been on a bunch. I don't know. Hopefully he keeps his pants on. What's up, my man? What are your thoughts? Is Harry Kane sticking around or is he bouncing out?
What's up, man? How's it going? Big up, you guys.
Big yourself up, my man. How you doing?
Yeah, man, I'm chilling. UK caller here, just back from a night out. Quite a young Spurs fan myself, only 22 years old.
You're an old timer here compared to a lot of the guys we have on the show. You know, Minerals or Danny, and then they're like 16, 17. So 22, man,
Crazy.
you're old school.
Yeah, man. I think it's quite boring at the moment with the Kane saga. I think there's only two right options really with it. Either you get him to sign a new contract, or you get him sent to highest bidder.
Yeah, you got to go. Like that's what I'm saying. Like they got to make. I agree with you 100%. I think that is the only option, right? You have to get Harry Kane to say, "I will sign" or "I won't sign," and if he doesn't sign, then you got to sell him this summer. I think that's the only option you got. I really do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's crazy because all the time when I was watching Spurs, ever since I was quite young, let's say 16, my dad, it would always be we get to the Champions League and we bottle it, and we bottle it, and we bottle it. And I'd always think, why is this going on? Like, what's happening here? And I was like, they're not trying. Like, they're never trying. And I'd think, that was the pure cause of it. But as I've got a bit older and I've started to listen to Tottenham Away a bit more, I always used to think, maybe it's something deeper than that. And comparing it to other football clubs, especially Man United, I saw a lot of similarities there in the sense of the ownership and being badly run. And then digging down into it a bit more, with the bad investment into the team and the players which didn't get replaced, it all sort of came back into the ownership. And then from there, it's kind of like, well, what now? Because we see that the ownership is a problem. And we see that, they kind of digging their heels in and don't want to leave. Maybe for whatever reason, the Super League coming in a few years. What really is the solution from here?
Yeah, I don't think. For me, I think the only solution is, and look, I catch a lot of heat for this all the time, but I think that sometimes, like even in companies, I think if you got a guy that's kind of like the key guy, right, and he's not 100% into the project, sometimes him staying around can hold everyone back, right? Because you don't want to let him go because he's the main talent, right? He's the guy that keeps you relevant. But in the end, he's not really helping you get the thing over the line, right? So you got to make a decision. You got to make a choice. Where do we go from here? And I think that's where we're at with Harry Kane, right? Like, we've got to, as a club, be responsible and start thinking about 4 years down the road, 5 years down the road. Like I saw on Twitter today that Harry Kane thinks he's got 10 years left at the top of his game. I think that's horseshit, to be honest with you. I mean, who plays all the way into their 40s and still, like even Messi hasn't accomplished that.
He's 30,
30,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. So you got about 5 years left, right?
Yeah, 4 to 5, I'm guessing, right? 4 to
That's
5.
being reasonable.
If
Ronaldo's 37 and
30. Ronaldo's 37, 38. Messi's like 37, 38. Playing in MLS. You can see from PSG that Messi wasn't the same Messi as he was 3 and 4 years ago, even. You know what I mean? Like,
let me open the question up to you guys, though. How much do you think Harry Kane is worth at his age now to a football club?
At his age right now, I would say he's probably worth about €100 million with only 1 year left on his contract, right? Because you're going to get guaranteed at least for the first 2 to 3 years. So, like, if you're a win now type of a club, like a Bayern Munich or a PSG, I think he's worth every bit of €100 million. So 85 million pounds. What do you think, Mar?
No, I agree with you. He's no less. If you got Declan Rice going for 105, you have to think 100 mil with Harry Kane, and especially you're dealing with Levy. Levy is not going to go less than. I hear people saying 85, 90. I'm like, you forget it's Daniel Levy. Yeah, they're gonna have to pay up. And on Cool the Kang show, I read some comments that they made that wasn't. It was more of intimidating comments towards Tottenham, and I don't think it's going to help Daniel Levy's ego because he's not going to be bullied. I know Dortmund, as a big club, and Real Madrid, they're used to bullying other clubs, especially Bayern, because they seem to get all of Germany's best talent from other clubs. I think they're going against Levy, and so it's going to be real interesting to see. But yeah, I'm in agreement with you. It's he hit at least 100 mil for him. He's quality. He has 2 to 3 to 4 years of bona fide. You're going to get 25 to 30 goals, especially on those teams. So,
on those teams, I think you probably get more, right? Like for Bayern Munich playing in Germany, you're probably looking at like Lewandowski type numbers, right? For Harry Kane in that particular system in that particular squad. Maybe not with Thomas Tuchel. But see, here's the thing. I think that the Declan Rice argument is a little bit of a fallacy because Declan Rice had a lot more years left on his contract, and he just signed a new deal like last year or the year before. You also have he's 25, right? He's not even that old. He's a lot younger than I think he looks.
Because if we think about with Bayern and PSG, right, who's in for Kane at the moment, Bayern, you've got to think like they're going to win the Bundesliga anyway, and the PSG are going to win the League One anyway. Like, do they think they can win the Champions League with just Kane against Man City? Can anyone really topple Man City at the moment?
I think PSG can't. Like, I think PSG is a lot farther away. Their squad is a lot older. I think Bayern.
So you think Bayern would topple City in the Champions League with Kane?
Maybe not with Thomas Tuchel as their manager, but with their squad, I think that they could.
But in the games against Bayern, they were really missing that striker. If Kane's there, Bayern could have beat City. If Kane is there, Bayern could have beat City. So you can tell they are missing a striker. So and Tuchel has beaten City before in the final. So it's not far fetched. So Bayern really needs a striker. They really need a guy like Kane because that could be the difference of winning the Champions League or going home.
And before we keep going this conversation, I don't want to keep sitting back there too long. I'm stepping it up tonight, stepping up Spurs. Let's bring in the man himself. Elias is in the house. What's up, Elias? What's going on, my man?
Hello, guys. How are you all doing?
We're doing good, dude. We're talking Harry Kane. Is he staying? Is he going? What's the deal? What are your thoughts?
Man, I'm so sick of that topic.
I mean, there's new news today. It's not like, it's just the same thing. Like, but there was some, and I'll read the quotes here in a little bit, but I'm sure you guys have all seen them. You guys are all pretty, into, the Spurs community and news and what's going on, stuff like that. But I mean, what are your kind of thoughts on the CEO of Bayern Munich coming out today and saying Harry Kane has basically promised us, and if he keeps his promise, he'll be signing for them this summer? What are your thoughts?
I guess if Daniel Levy has promised them, and then Kane has already, I think that yesterday the news also came about that Kane has personally agreed, like, let's say he wants to leave as well. If I think today we don't hear anything from Daniel Levy or Harry Kane about that particular news, because definitely they are in Australia. I think so. Daniel Levy is there as well. Is he there? Is Levy also in Australia, or is he?
I don't know. I didn't see if he was there.
Yeah. But Kane is definitely there. So I think definitely there's going to be a lot of press conferences and all that stuff going on there in Australia as well. So if Kane doesn't come out and say and deny some of that, then I guess it means that maybe he's staying, and maybe all that is just like some usual PR stuff. But if they keep silent, they keep it quiet, I think it says, or it speaks lens, like then it means that yes, Kane is leaving soon, if you ask me.
I think if he's gonna go, we gotta sell him. We got another guest just jumped in the back. The man, the myth,
when we got Tottenham away,
the legend.
the first game we looked for, Robbie, Tottenham away.
Stelios in the house.
When we got Tottenham away.
What's going on, man?
That's so funny. When we got Tottenham away? What? Yeah, I'm good, man. How's everyone doing? You guys all right?
Yeah, we're doing good.
Big up still. How's it going?
Who's that? Who's that in the background?
Less
New caller in. New
accounting, less accounting, more football is his name. He's 22 years old from the UK.
Big up.
And
you're right.
Just
He
come
sound-
back
he sounds-
from the night out, man. Thought I'd call into my much beloved football team.
There you go.
Yeah, good on you. Good on you.
But we got. So I'm sure you've seen a lot of the tweets. Well, maybe not because you're not supposed to be on Twitter, but
He's on Twitter now.
they were on Facebook as well. So we'll go down that. We'll go down that avenue. What are your thoughts on the CEO of Bayern Munich coming out today and basically saying Harry Kane's already pretty much promised us, and if he's a man of his word, he'll be signing with us this summer? What are your thoughts on that?
I think they're playing a very clever game because I said last season Kane's gone. There's no way Kane will stay. And then Conte came in and turned it around after Nuno became manager. I was surprised Kane stayed. But then when we heard about his brother messing up negotiations and there was no exit clause, it all began to make sense. But now Kane's just been patient, got on with his job. He hasn't come out saying, I want to leave. He hasn't not turned up to training. If you look at the photos from Tottenham, he's smiling and joking. He's on the plane. Yeah, we're flying to Australia. He's playing it well because he knows in a year's time, you can't say shit to him. He knows in 6 months' time, 5 months, he can sign a pre-agreement.
Don't take my money when we get divorced.
he can sign a pre-agreement and just go on a free. And Levy knows this. So Daniel Levy now has a choice to make. Do I sell him? Or do I lose £100 million? Or do I take the best offer I can get? And I'm going to have to go with that in the end. Now, Bayern Munich know this. They know they don't have to spend 100 million because in 5 months they can sign that pre-agreement. But also Bayern Munich know if they don't do a deal now, Kane could go to a lot of other clubs who aren't bidding now. But Bayern know they're going to have to pay, but they know they don't need to pay 100 million. Levy wants 100 million, but Levy also knows if you don't give me 100 million, this guy's going on a free in January. So I think that a deal will be struck round about 80 million. With some kind of performance-related bonus. If Bayern Munich win the Champions League or if Bayern Munich win the domestic treble, they'll have to pay a bit more. But Bayern Munich won't care because the winnings from those competitions, we saw last year, Man City won something like £300 million from all the trophies they won. If Bayern Munich go and be super successful with Kane, that extra 10, 20 million is pocket change. So for me, I stick to what I said. There is no way this accountant, Daniel Levy, is going to let 100 million, 80 million, 70 million walk out the front door for free. Never in a million years. The only option that can save Levy and Tottenham is Kane signs a new deal. But do any of you think he's going to sign a new deal without an exit clause that just gets triggered and he leaves for 60 million? I think Kane's gone, Will.
Yeah, it's got to be more than 6. Like the release clause, I don't think would be in that. But like apparently they're going to offer like so the rumors that I've heard about the contract that's on the offer is that they've offered him $400K a week, right? And they've also offered him a job like post playing at Tottenham Hotspur. Look. If I was,
what
Kane,
does that mean?
I don't know. A coach, something.
Ryan Mason's got a job. Anyone gets a job at Tottenham.
I don't know, but like, say they offer him like a 10-year contract on $400,000 a week, right? Because that's what Kane. Harry Kane says that he feels like he's good for 10 years. Now he ain't gonna make it 10 years, right? Messi and Ronaldo didn't make it 10 years, and they're at a different level than even Harry Kane's at, right? As much as he would like to think that he's, at their level, he's not. Right, let's just face facts. He's a good player, great player, world class, but he's not a GOAT level, right? And if we were to offer him a 10-year deal on $400,000 a week, I'd take that. Right, I'd take that. I bust my leg, I do whatever. I'm still getting paid as a coach in the background, $400K a week. I mean, that to me, it's insane. Like Tottenham, I think would be stupid to do that. You're gonna bust your wage bill for the next forever. But I mean, if that's the kind of deal that it takes to get him to stay, maybe that's the kind of money that says, to a guy, I could set up, my kids will be generationally wealthy. You know what I mean?
What you're doing though is, if you do that, right? I'm gonna do the math. 400k.
Yeah, offer him 400k a week plus Daniel Levy's position after Daniel Levy goes away or whatever. And then I'll take the deal.
20 million a year. 20
times 10 years, 200 mil.
But guys, we have
so
to
basically,
remember
you're putting
Daniel Levy, the accountant. Do we really think he's going to give him a 10-year deal on 400k a week? Like, this guy loves the books. Would he really do that?
I think we're given a hypothetical, only extreme thing could potentially keep Kane here, like an extreme contract that's never been done before.
Yeah, like that type of a
we know
player.
He's not gonna get
he won't sign another one in the other way, right?
That's what I'm saying. There's no way else. Yeah. There's no other way that Harry Kane decides he's going to stick around at Tottenham unless a contract like that comes around. Or that's the whole point of the hypothetical, right?
It gives him one of two.
When do we think we'll sell him? Do we think we'll sell him at the end of the window to squeeze as much money as possible? Because then we could leave ourselves open to having to overpay for a replacement, like Ramos, for example.
We're not getting a replacement. Less accounting. Richarlison is the replacement. We need to accept that as well.
I ain't accepting that. Like, I saw that today too. Somebody put on Twitter, like I said, why are we all stressed about this Harry Kane thing? If he wants to go, he can go, and we've got a great replacement in Richarlison. But we got to hold on real quick.
Season strike.
Which dumb account is that? Let me go and cuss him.
No, but at 100, we got 100 people watching the show live right now on a Saturday night at like 1 a.m. in the UK. Right? I've seen. I'm gonna shoot a little shots here. Right? Some people are trying to take my call as the #1 American streamer, trying to take my title away and give it to other people. You tell me what other North American show at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock Eastern time rocks 105 live viewers?
Will, let's have it straight. The #1 American streamer is Mari.
That's right. That's right. I'll give it to Mari. I'd rather, if I got to give it to somebody, I'll give it to Mari.
Now, Will's the original OG American streamer. Will's the OG.
Man.
But no, I'm half joking, but I'm not, because people have been putting it out on like YouTube titles. It's just weird.
Who are the ones?
Those people should debate me when I say to them, "Hey, let's debate then," right?
And they want.
Did the Sean Butler debate not come round still?
No, nobody will debate me. Less accounting. No, nobody's going to want to go toe to toe on it, because the reality. And I'll tell you what, Jason Groves makes a really good point. I have to say, Jason Groves makes a good point. When all the rumors about Sonny were coming out, Son came out, and within 2 weeks, new contract. My commitment is to Spurs. He just ended it right there. The fact that Harry Kane hasn't come out to end it, and by the way, it's not for Harry Kane to end it. It's for the club, as the custodians, to take control of the situation, because it's their duty to the club, not Kane's duty to the club. Kane is honouring his contract. Kane was a top scorer for Tottenham last year and every year, almost, except for some the year before. Kane is doing his job. So if the Tottenham have to do their job and sort this out, the situation. So for me, Sonny came out and said, Spurs approached Sonny first and offered him a new contract behind the scenes. Sonny accepted, and that ended it. So I know people will say, "Oh, Son came out and ended it," but really, Spurs offered him a new contract, and Son accepted, and they announced it. So it was a joint thing. The fact that Kane or the club haven't come out, it's just warming it up for what's happening. And I don't think Kane's going to stay. Kane could end it if he wants. Spurs could end this if they want, but
yeah. We got another guy in the back, the #1 Canadian. No, it's not Scott M. Big up. He's my favorite Canadian. Sorry, Scott. I love you too, but Abdul Kareem for me. is the #1 Canadian caller. Big up, my man.
This channel rocking, man, today.
I met you in Toronto.
Yeah,
Scotland
man.
Yard. Yeah, you're right.
Scotland Yard. Yeah, I'm good. How you doing, man?
Yeah, surviving. We're surviving.
We're surviving live. But Mr. Abdul, I'm sure you are also a Twitter aficionado, and I'm sure you have seen the comments today by the CEO of Bayern Munich about Kane basically making him a promise, and if he's a man of his word, he'll be going to Bayern Munich this Sunday. What are your thoughts?
I'm gonna keep it real. I'm not even lying.
Summer,
but
not
like,
Sunday. Sorry.
Yeah. The reason why I don't know about that news is because literally my phone broke yesterday, and I have an appointment to fix my phone on Monday. I have not been going on Twitter these last 2 days.
You're not missing anything.
This is literally news to me. But can you just repeat what you just said? Something about the CEO of what? Bayern Munich said that.
I mean, I can read you the exact quotes, but the CEO of this is from Fabrizio Romano too. So this isn't like it's while he got his pants all tied up type of a guy. You've got basically, let's see. Let me pull up my Fabrizio Romano quote page here. And it says that Bayern, this is Uli Hoeneß, which is the CEO, right? What we really liked about Harry Kane is his agents, his father and brother. They're very pleasant people. And then you also have him saying Harry Kane has very clearly signaled that his decision was made. If he keeps his word, we will sign him. Tottenham will have to give up. We have to get an asking price from Daniel Levy. So,
I mean, listen. I kind of agree with the part where he's saying that we have to get an asking price. I mean, like, you have to kind of, if you're Daniel Levy, you have to at least put out what price you're willing to sell him for. You can't just say we're never going to sell him for no money that comes in. You have to at least negotiate in some way, just as a club, just doing the duties of Tottenham Hotspur, and not putting your personal, I guess, any vendettas you may have in there. If Bayern Munich comes with a suitable offer, if they meet your offer, then you have to sell Harry Kane. But you first have to put out what is Tottenham willing to sell Harry Kane for? Because we hear about Bayern Munich coming in with 70 mil, then 80 mil or whatever. But Daniel Levy, you need to speak up. What are you willing to sell him for? Because you were clear last year with Man City. You said 150 million pounds and you will sell him. So what is it this year now? You just have to. Nobody really knows. So, but but then it's kind of arrogant from Bayern Munich. It's like they're kind of trying to strong will this deal, but they have to understand that just because Bayern Munich is a bigger team, of course, more successful, Tottenham is not no newly promoted team. They have more than enough money to keep their own players. They don't need to. This isn't no Sir Alex Ferguson in 2002 times where you can pretty much get whoever you want. Like, this is not working like that. You're not coming to a Premier League team and trying to demand and strong will one of their best players. So, they need to be a little bit regard.
Yeah, we lost your last word there and your last comment, but before
can I challenge Abdul on something he said?
Yes, very quickly. I've got another guest to bring in, but
I'll be super quick.
Yeah,
Abdul, you know where you say, and I've heard a lot of fans say this. You know where you say, Bayern have to coming in with 70 million isn't on, but in 5 months' time, they can sign him for free on a pre-agreement, as can any non-UK club. So why should Bayern pay what Tottenham demand when there's 1 year left on the contract? If it was 2 years, 3 years, yeah, I'd say what you said makes sense. But the fact he can sign in 5 months for zero, why do Bayern have to pay more?
I mean, the truth, but my question is, what is Tottenham looking for in terms of money? What is their
100 million?
Price?
Unrealistic.
It's 100 million pounds or euros?
I think euros they'd accept.
Okay, so 85 million pound-ish, right?
Okay, so Bayern Munich is 20 million off from their latest offer, because they offered 80 million euros, right? I mean, the truth is, like, if you're Bayern Munich, like, are you gonna risk him going to another club? Like, is Bayern Munich the only club that's willing to come for Harry Kane if he's on a free? That's the question. Is Real Madrid really off the table? Like, you have to wait, obviously, with the Kylian Mbappe, how that saga unfolds. But like, let's not try to act like.
And that's the other link. That's the other link today too, right? Is that if Mbappe ends up leaving PSG this summer, PSG will come in for Kane and hijack the deal.
And
the thing
PSG
is,
are
like,
bigger bid.
Kylian Mbappe has said this multiple times, that he doesn't prefer playing as a striker. He wants to play as a winger. He doesn't want to play as a striker. And again, like, I'm not too quick to rule out a Real Madrid move, honestly.
Yeah,
like,
but then Abdul, if you're the Bayern chairman, wouldn't you turn around to Daniel Levy and say, fine, you don't want to agree a price with us, no problem. He goes for free in January to anyone. He doesn't come to Bayern, not an issue. You're still going to lose him for zero. We're the only option you've got that can pay money that's come out and said, we will buy him now. So if this is the only option Levy's got, why did the Bayern have to pay 100 million?
Yeah, but is Bayern Munich the only option, though? Why can't Real Madrid? Like, what makes you think that Real Madrid or
Who
PSG
else
won't come?
No. Now, I'm talking about now, Abdul. Like a club that's actually prepared to buy him now, not free. Buy him now. No one else.
Again, there's still time. There's still time. You got to see how this Kylian Mbappe saga unfolds. What I'm trying to say, if Mbappe does not go there for whatever reason, he stays at PSG. That's not out of the. Then why can't PSG come in?
But if you're Levy, the longer this goes, the more stabilising it is to the rebuild, to Postecoglou, and to the team as a whole. It's not productive situation.
It's not productive, but somebody is back. After their long journey in the mountains of Tibet, getting stronger to fight the evil doers. The Dark Knight rises. CQ.
We got you.
Hey boys! It's summer. It's hot girl, hot guy, hot, no gender summer. Happy. I am buzzing again. I hurt my foot, so I'm actually not that buzzing, but I figure I come on and spend some time with you all because I'm kind of immobile right now.
Immobile?
And I just got back from a trip. So
I thought you like injured or something. So
I did. I
pulled
something in my foot. Yeah. So I'm trying to like rest it a little bit right now. So
you're stuck at home, and so you just decided.
And I just got back because I was in LA a couple days ago, and then I just got back, and now I'm like trying to rest my foot, and saw you all on. So
it's good to hear your voice, CQ.
Oh, thank you. It's good to be on with you again, Maury. I've been watching like in the background here and there, so I'm not totally out of it. But once you guys start talking about Spurs too much, I usually am like, I'm out.
Well, you may not last very long tonight then.
You said from the mountains of Tibet, you know, like Christian Bale style, but actually, you know, I've been over in Wales because Wrexham, they just signed a new player from the championship because they're doing things that other clubs should do and actually sign good players that are going to get them to the next stage.
Good for their level. I'll grant you that.
Well, no, but compared to where they're going to be, I mean, like a champion, somebody who's played in the championship and they're going into League Two. That's that's really good.
They had that, I think, in non-league too, didn't they? Where they had a couple of league players that, you know, dropped down and help them.
Well, exactly. They're still keeping that up, and it's a left-sided center back, which is what they needed. So, I mean, it'd be nice if we signed a center back. Just saying.
Yeah.
And Roy Park says typical Batman move to lurk in the background. CQ.
Oh, always.
But
so you guys don't talk smack about me or my beloved Sonny. I heard some people invoking the name of the goat the other stream, talking some shit about Sonny, like he missed sitters and stuff.
Oh,
Who the hell was that?
Was that Mari? I think it was Mari's show. So there was I think it might have been Mr. Kemp. He was on there. And also too, I don't know where the other guy went, but you're welcome to come back if you want. The less accounting, more football guy. He just kind of disappeared without saying goodbye.
Oh yeah, it was on my show. Yeah, because you were on there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember who was talking about Sonny. About missing
sitters. Yeah, I don't know. I tuned in for like 10 minutes and just heard some smack talking about Sonny, and I was like, oh man, I was like, gotta get out of this here.
Yeah. But what are your thoughts on the Harry Kane deal? The president or CEO of Bayern Munich coming out today and saying if Kane is a man of his word, he will sign for us this summer. What are your thoughts?
So I actually thought that he wasn't going to leave initially because I thought that he was just going to say, you know what, I'm just going to wait until I leave on a free. I was definitely thinking that he was not going to sign an extension. I was like, he's leaving. But I thought that he would leave on a free next summer. If he leaves this summer, which is starting to look more like it now, and maybe I was wrong about that, and he is going to possibly leave this summer because of those comments, then I mean, like, I feel kind of like the Bayern, like, amount is low. I think it's low. I understand he's on a free next summer, but I mean, the Goons just spent £100 million on Declan Rice, and he was supposed to be a free agent apparently next summer, although they have like an additional year that they can extend. But I mean, like, Harry Kane, despite his age, is a way better player, all around footballer than Declan Rice. If anybody wants to argue with that with me, let's go. But that's just straight up bullshit if they say otherwise.
Footballing wise, I think you're right. But the fact that he had that extension on his contract means that West Ham could have triggered it in order to force a club to pay more, right? So, and then you have his age factor too. I think, first of all, I think Arsenal overpaid for Declan Rice. I don't think he's worth 105 million.
Well, yeah, I agree.
He's not even at the level of a footballer as Jack Grealish is, and I thought him going to City for 100 million was expensive, right, for where he was at. But
yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that. I think that they overpaid for him. But my thing is this: like, if you're getting 100 mil for Declan Rice, right? And yes, there's the age component, and yes, there's the extension, and it is also to a Prem club. I will say that as well. But like 70 mil for guaranteed goals. Harry Kane is, with the exception of, you know, half a year or a little bit more than half a year where he was just a dud for a while there under Nuno. But otherwise, he's guaranteed goals. I mean, like 70, they're not talking about 70 million pounds. They're offering 70 million euros. And that was their later on offer. Like before that, they started with like 60 million like euros.
Yeah, 60 million euros way low. I think.
Yeah, I was like, that's just too low. In fact, I feel like that's kind of an insult.
Then it was 80.
Yeah, but Cubed, you say it's too low, but that's 60 million euros more than zero. And at the moment, it is going to be zero if we don't take a deal from Bayern. And this is the situation. I remember a long time ago, the same thing happened with Sol Campbell. He wasn't at the level of Kane back then, but he was one of the best centre backs in the league, and he was English, so the whole English quota and all that. And he didn't sign a new contract, and we just ran down the contract, and then he went to Arsenal and won everything but the European trophy, and it was the biggest like major fuck up. and we're about to do it again. But this will be much worse because Kane's worth a hell of a lot more than what Sol Campbell's was back then. But I don't know. I agree with you. I agree with you. He's worth more than Declan Rice. You're spot on, and I agree with Will. Arsenal paid over the odds, but sometimes you just got to pay to make sure you get the player. And I think with this situation, like it's just my personal view. If we don't accept a lower price, he's going to go for free, and that will be the worst thing of all.
I don't think that we should not sell him. To be clear, if he wants to leave, my mentality is this. I don't want him to leave just because the idea of him scoring against us at any point in time and doing his little I'm hopping in the air, doing those two arms thing is like horrific to me. And people that say, go and live your best dreams and everything. I mean, if they're thinking that it's not going to hurt if he ever scores against us, they got to be kidding me. Okay. It's going to hurt. It's going to be actually heart-wrenching painful. But that being said, like, I think that if he wants to go, just let him go. Like entirely, if he wants to go, just let him go. But
if he's going to go, we got to get money
I do think that it's a little cheap. If we, I don't actually have a problem if we do want to sell, if we are going to sell him for that. But I think their introductory bid is low.
What's a fair price then?
I think 80 million pound is a fair price.
Yes,
right? So about
I agree with that.
93 million euro or something like that.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, for me, I feel like starting with 60 is too low. 60 million euros is too low. 80 million, pounds, I feel like that's about right. I was like, that's fine. And if he wants to go, then go. I don't really have that big of an issue of like selling him if that's what he wants. My thing is just that it's a little low. And Real Madrid is not going to go in for him because they just spent a bunch on Bellingham. So even though they have money, it's not like they
may be buying Mbappe too. So
yeah, there's not like they have unlimited money. They don't have like Saudi money in the like it's not the same.
They've got a lot of money, but I think it's a possibility for Mbappe to go to Real Madrid. I think they're far more interested because they'd be willing to spend a lot more money on a guy who's like 21, 22 and is a world-class baller already than they would spending 80 million pound or 100 million euro on a 30-year-old player.
Yeah. And they just spent so much on Bellingham. So I'm like, if they're going to do it.
PSG is a club that does have air money, and they do that all the time, right? Buy players that are towards the end of their careers and spend up to wazoo. And if Mbappe ends up going to Real Madrid and PSG end up trying to find somebody to replace Mbappe, from all the current reports is that it's Harry Kane as their option. So
I could see Harry Kane at PSG way more than
I don't know if Harry Kane wants to go to PSG because according to him, it's only Bayern, right? So,
I don't think Kane would live in France.
I mean, what's the difference between living in France and living in Germany?
The German culture, believe it or not, the German way of life isn't too similar to British. I know they've got the history, but there's the transition between British and English is actually a lot easier. The French and the it's very different way of life.
Yeah, cold and mediocre food. Yeah.
PSG are in talks over Vlahovic, but they haven't made an offer to Juventus yet, and they said it depends. The Vlahovic deal depends on an Mbappe situation. That was reported by Fabrizio Romano today too.
Honestly, I want Vlahovic at Spurs.
I honestly think whoever, because you got Chelsea, Arsenal, United, Inter, I guess, is not in for him anymore. Or whoever gets Vlahovic is going to be a big winner because I'll say it again. The Vlahovic you're seeing is not the real Vlahovic. You're seeing the Allegri restrained Vlahovic. This guy is going to spring like new life when whatever team he goes to. He's going to spring to new life because.
Well, I think in a Postecoglou's system, he would be a really good option, right? He's young, he's fast, he's strong,
moves well in the box, very and hold up.
Knows how to be at the right position at the right time. All those traits.
And I mean, if you just like, is he a step down from Harry Kane? Yeah, he's probably probably a 60% loss or 40% loss on Harry Kane, right? Maybe 60% of the player that Harry Kane is. But, right, that may be what we really like. If we're serious about a rebuild, right, we got to start thinking about replacing Harry Kane, right? Because he's made it very clear he doesn't want to stick around. And so we're gonna lose him at some point, whether it's this year, whether it's next year, or whether it's 4 years or 5 years from now. We're gonna end up in a situation where we don't have Harry Kane anymore. So we need to start rebuilding, and if we don't get money for it, right, we're screwed because Daniel Levy is not, I repeat, never going to come out of his own pocket or the club's money in order to put up the money to replace a player like Harry Kane. Just not happening. In no world does that happen.
Yeah.
Unless he sells Harry Kane for 80 million and goes and buys, just swaps it over to Vlahovic. No. If you got 100 million euro, you get it for Kane, you immediately put that into Vlahovic or whatever.
And Vlahovic,
or 70% of that.
Like, yeah.
He's not doing
his
that.
asking price is like 60-65 million only. Like Vlahovic can come to you about 60-65 million, and our relationship with Juventus is not that bad. We can get that done, but it's up to Vlahovic as well whether he wants to come to us or not.
Vlahovic would want to leave Juventus right now. They're in shambles right now.
He's not coming to us.
And
nobody else is really interested other than PSG. And if PSG come in for Kane, then Vlahovic is open. That's what I'm saying. Like
if I was Spurs, if I was Spurs and we sell Kane, I'd start Richarlison as the striker. As much as I'm against it, because I think Richarlison is trash. I'd wait 5 months and I'd pick up the phone to Brentford and say, right, Ivan Toney, how much? And bring him to Tottenham. That's what I would do. I'd just wait to get Ivan Toney.
I wouldn't risk it. I would get Toney now. Like, okay, we'll take a hit. He doesn't.
Yeah, do that. That's cool.
You might even get him on the cheap because he's suspended, right? His personal problems could make his price tag lower.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I just think that he's a bit older, right? He's 26, 27 now, Toney, and you got less time than you do in a guy like Vlahovic, right? Like I'd sell Richarlison. Like if Real Madrid or somebody else, I think there were some rumors of Richarlison.
We're not going to do that though, right?
Get rid of Richarlison and get Vlahovic and Toney in.
He's 27. He turned 27 3 months ago.
Nobody's coming in for Richie after the stinker this
apparently
season.
Toney can't sign anything while he's banned either, so
then we wait till January.
But you could do they do deals behind the you could do it. You could get a deal done behind the doors. It's not official until they announce it. You know what I mean? Like you could still get the deal done while he's
Romans.
Sign it in the back room.
But
I would just get Ivan Toney. I don't. When I hear fans talk about Ollie Watkins and stuff like that, I don't want to hear about Ollie Watkins.
Ollie Watkins is not even as good of a player as Balogun is.
Come on.
Well, there are some YouTubers across the town. They're picking him up.
I'm worried that.
Who? Send me these videos, right? Because that's my new series that I'm doing on the channel now. So I'm gonna start reacting to idiots.
I'll give you the back room. I've been told not to
just send me a DM on like WhatsApp or something like that with the link, and then I can go watch it.
Ooh, Will told you to DM him.
Yeah, slide into my
DMs.
Of course, I
You
will.
kids. You kids, I'll tell you.
Yeah, but like the question you gotta ask is like, how much is Harry Kane worth for 1 year? Like, does his value supersede a 70 million?
If they win the Champions League, yes, he's worth 80 million euro.
But do you mean to Tottenham? For Tottenham keeping him?
No.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like keeping him in Tottenham, is it more value keeping him and losing him on a free next year? No, but
depends
how
if
much
you buy defenders.
bring in?
Depends if you buy defenders, and it depends if he stays fit.
No, because he's not valuable. Here's the kicker. He's not as valuable, right? Because here I mentioned this in my opening, which you may not have caught, but there's this narrative going around right now, right? That because Harry Kane is an academy product, he didn't cost us anything, right? So keeping him around and letting him go on a free is more valuable than getting 70, 80 million pound for him this year, because he can help get us into Champions League and then blah blah blah. Well, here's the problem with that, right? It's like teaching a man, if you give a man a fish, right, you feed him for a day. If you teach a man to fish, right, you feed him for a lifetime, right? That's the same logic as to why letting him go on a free, regardless of the fact that it didn't cost anything, is stupid, is because we may qualify for a European position, if we don't buy any center backs to do whatever, Europa League, or even let's say the Champions League. That's like £80 million, right? That's £80 million. But that also goes into the cost of playing the league, going to those fixtures, doing all of those things. There's costs that are out of that. So you're not getting £80 million in profit by qualifying for the Champions League, right? It's revenue, but it's not profit. And then two, you've got to come up with the cash, right, to continue to compete in there. Otherwise, we're out of it again next year, and we're going to fall straight down the table again because now we don't have anyone to replace him.
Yeah, but my question is, how much money does he himself bring you in terms of? It's hard to quantify that, like in terms of, well, it's not only jersey sales, but
not a lot of jersey sales.
How much of that ticket sales is it because of Harry Kane, and how much? Like that's what
not
I mean. Is how like what is his quality?
Because he's English.
Quantify his value.
I think it's less.
Don't
than you would think. Because he's English, right? Because he's English. Your main supporters of Harry Kane, your main lovers of Harry Kane, are most likely going to be English, right? And the English Tottenham supporters are Tottenham supporters not because of Harry Kane, but because they're Tottenham, right? They will continue to support the club regardless of whether Harry Kane's there or not. It's not like Son, right? Where Son, if you go to the club shot, has 5 rows of Son shirts and there's 1 row of Harry Kane shirts, right? Son, if you lose Son, you lose 50 million Korean supporters. Right, not all of them, but probably at least 50% are going to follow wherever Son goes, unless it's like some Arab club. But if it's another big club in Europe, they're all, half of those fans are going to go with him, right? So he doesn't have the same, Harry Kane, because he's English, doesn't have the same pull in marketability, right? There's no American that's going to be like, well, you know what? I'm no longer a Tottenham supporter because Harry Kane left. There's no Chinese player. There's no Korean fan. There's no Chinese fan. There's no, Asian fan. There's no Indian fan. There's no fan that's going to stop supporting the club because Harry Kane left. It's just not going to.
Also, what you also got to think about is like, as Tottenham, you have the captain of the England national team, and you're playing in the English league. Like, surely that has to mean something. That has to
all the non-Spurs fans just shit on Harry Kane all the time. That's what it means.
No,
we
but then
we will lose a
captain of the
Moroccan
England
fan,
national
guys.
team.
We will lose a Moroccan fan because Dietrich is out. Kane is out.
I was just
He's
about
gonna
to
be
say
like,
that.
I said we're not going to lose anybody.
He's gonna be over there in Munich, being like, "Yeah, Harry."
In England, it's a bit different, okay, and I don't know why. You see Mourinho, wherever he goes, the Jose sexuals follow him. Like, he has his own family. They will support wherever Mourinho goes. Heung-min Son is the same. I think wherever Sonny goes, the Sonny fans will go. They're not going to support Tottenham anymore. They'll go support wherever Son goes. You might get 1 or 2 that kind of like the whole Coys and the stadium and all that, and they might think, actually, I quite like this club. But the majority of Son fans will follow Son. I think Messi's the same. I think Ronaldo's the same. Certain players, managers, people just like to follow. I can't think of one English football player that fans follow in England just because he's a superstar British player.
Yeah, like even United fans didn't stop supporting United because Beckham went to Real Madrid, right? Like, it's not happening.
Okay, actually, that's a great point. Beckham. Okay, that's you've actually found one. Beckham had his following. But
they became Real Madrid supporters, but they didn't stop becoming Man United followers. That's my point, right?
That's right.
Man United didn't lose anything.
No, they didn't. Kane's the same in England. Will Smart.
He's the same. But I'm just saying, like, if you're Daniel Levy, like, how are you gonna, like, I guess, think about losing the captain of the England national team? Like, Harry Kane is probably like,
Levy doesn't care about England. Levy doesn't care about England national team.
You don't think he cares about, like,
no,
but the fans do, though.
Levy doesn't even care about Tottenham.
I don't think the fans do. Like, that's something.
Nobody.
Abdul, English fans are different than other countries' fans. That's the whole point. They will not stop supporting Tottenham because Harry Kane leaves. None of them will. And if they do, they will get roasted by their mates. Right? Yeah. You're a paper fan. You're a plastic fan, right? Right? It's about the badge on the front, not the name on the back, right? Like, there's that whole...
it's a generational club. The grandfather...
culture.
Yeah, it's from my great-great-grandfather rooted for Tottenham, passed it down to my grandfather, then to my father. To
Okay. All right. I'll say. I
think in England, it's fair to say, but obviously don't just take my word on it. But my experience here is that club football is more loyal and supported than national team football in England, in my view. Whereas I don't think that's the same in other countries. For example, in Italy, the North hates the South. They fucking hate each other. Everyone hates Juve. There's big rivalry between Milan and Napoli. But when the Azzurri play, all of Italy comes together. Yeah. I don't know if it's... I think in England they do come together, but I think the love for the local club is still bigger.
I'm going to add this too, because I have a lot of Spaniards.
Hold on real quick. Send me clips on Twitter at WillStewart365 of any of the things that you want me to react to, regardless of who it is. Right? I'm not calling the person out as a person, but just whatever they said, and I'm going to start doing a series where I do like a logical reaction to stuff on YouTube and Twitter.
You know, I've noticed this. People who ridicule stats end up using stats in their arguments later on down the future. I've noticed this. Everyone uses stats when it suits them, and they ridicule them when it counters their argument.
It's
well,
it's
I want to say, Spain is a little bit in that way. It's the reason why they finally won a World Cup, because they finally unified. Because I looked at the history, they were infighting even within the national club because of Catalonia and the rest of Spain, and Real Madrid players and Barcelona players. You know, it's kind of hard for them to get along. And finally, Spain became, you know, they won 3 consecutive major tournaments, is when they finally, as a country, said, all right, we're going to get unified. Because Spain is weird, because you have the Basque country, which I trace my family heritage to French and Basque, which is up in the north, Bilbao. And if you know anything about that, if you're not from the Basque country, you can't play for Bilbao. They're like the only club in the world who do not take outsiders. Then you have Catalonia on one side. You have Spain, Spanish in the middle. And even in the south, it's different. So Spain's a little bit like England in the sense that it took hard to get everybody together. But when they got together, Spain finally dominated, doing it the Barcelona way, you know, tiki-taka, Euro, World Cup, Euro.
Yeah. I think the US is kind of 50-50, right? Like you got some people that are traders, you know, like Dan THFC, and you know,
his name is Dan,
and shit on the US team. There's others too, but you know, I'm not.
UK Dan.
I'm holding myself. I'm being nice today. But and then there are people like me who, yeah, there are people like me who will you know, I'll put a Balogun on the back of my USMN t-shirt. I'll put a Turner on the back of my USM t-shirt. I'll never wear an Arsenal shirt, that's for damn sure. But USMNT comes before clubs for me.
The thing as well in England, right, is
gross.
The Premier League changed English football. The Premier League is not an English league. It's English because it comes under the FA, which is an English governing body of football. But the English Premier League is a foreign league. There's more foreigners than English players in the Premier League. It's a foreign league. When you go to Championship, Division 1, Division 2, they're English leagues. They're proper English leagues. And what you'll find is, and Reload mentioned it in the comments, the Championship and the lower leagues, they are diehard England fans. But the biggest clubs with the biggest support in the Premier League, they're not diehard England fans. But that's because the Premier League is not an English league. It's 60, 70%, something like that. I think it's 60%. Out of all the European leagues, the Premier League has got more foreigners playing it than domestic talent. Fact. It's what it's become. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I'll cheer for Turner if he makes a save, and Balogun if he makes a goal, but I am putting them on the back of my shirt.
I'll put Balogun's name on the back of my USMN t-shirt.
Although
100%.
Balogun maybe, because Balogun's probably going to leave Arsenal.
I hope he does.
He should.
See, I root for them to leave those clubs. Like I think Matt Turner needs to go be a number one keeper at a different club. I don't think he needs to be sitting number 2 at Arsenal. I would rather go see him play for even like a bottom of the table Premier League team as a starter than playing in some cup matches for Arsenal.
But he needs to play. He needs game time.
Captain puts a good point. The Liverpool fans even booed the national anthem. The funny story is my mates. Whenever I go to England, I stay in most predominantly in Manchester, and it's almost like Liverpool. The Merseyside is like a different country. Like literally, like they're like Liverpool is not considered.
It's a very political city.
Yeah, they hate. Like my mates in Manchester, they hate. The closest they get to Liverpool is Warrington. That's it. That's the closest they're like, oh, we not because it's football. It's just they just hate everything about like Liverpool. They don't consider that part of England, and so Liverpool fans booing God bless the King because it is interesting because I'm like, oh yeah, they're booing it because it's interesting. I'm a sociology history nerd, being a former history teacher years ago. So it's always fascinating seeing how even within the same country you have, even the United States, for those who are watching, I tell people America is different. The West Coast, California, is different from Texas, Florida. Even Florida, Miami is the state of Miami. It's different from the rest state of Florida. The Northeast, where I was born in New York, is different from the Carolinas, and the Midwest, where
because we're a continent, right? Basically, I mean,
Liverpool's like New Jersey, man.
Jersey. Yeah.
No, I think isn't Liverpool like Detroit?
Yeah. You're right. It's Detroit.
Yeah.
Liverpool are the English Texas.
I guess they're Texas. I think they're like Detroit.
Will, can you put up that comment from the Golden Hammer? West Ham are now a bigger club than Spurs. Golden Hammer.
I don't see that.
9-8 p.m. is kind of before when Scotland said the Moronistas are the
9:08.
Yep, 9:08.
That's way back there. This one, Golden Hammer.
Oh, yeah. Don't feed the trolls. What are you talking? Why are you feeding the trolls?
Come on,
Elias, don't feed the trolls.
No, let me just tell him. Do you know how many trophies has West Ham won throughout their career? Only 7 trophies throughout the time they have been. Tottenham has won 26 trophies since we came.
Elias.
You guys are not even near us.
Elias.
And you come and tell us.
Elias. You got to learn to punch up, not down. We don't punch down. We punch up.
A West Ham fan coming and telling us on our channel that West Ham are a bigger club than Spurs just because they won the Europa Conference League. If you win one Champions League, understandable. Like, come on, man.
Actually, to the West Ham fan, we've got a second channel called Soccer Sessions. If you want to come on, we're trying to do like a Premier League panel weekly show. If you want to come on it, let us know. It'd be good to have you on because we haven't got a West Ham fan for that yet. So
hit us up on Twitter or Facebook or something.
I will say this. People who are poo-pooing on the Conference League, because I'm going to do a show on the other channel.
Hold on, Mara. Yeah. We will have no caravan or traveler comments.
They've got Wi-Fi in caravans.
Warwick 1980.
Why not in caravans?
Right. Let's not do that. Okay.
Wi-Fi in caravans. That is about Liverpool.
No, yes, but we're not going to have any hate on the gypsy traveler community.
The other channel, which is Soccer Sessions, I'm going to do a show probably not this next week, but the following week because people, that's what I love about this other channel. I'm going to talk about things that a lot of people are not talking about, the new offsides rule. We'll talk about the Club World Cup. The Club World Cup is going to be huge. People don't know United States got the bid for 2025, and teams like Real Madrid, Man City actually want to win that. Like, there are clubs around the world, Boca Juniors, they want to qualify. See, some teams are already qualified. If you win the Conference League, you get points in your coefficient to be the top 8 wildcards, because in Europe they take the last four champions of the Champions League, and then they have 8 bids remaining. West Ham, by winning the Conference League, And if this year is the last year you could qualify for the 12th, if they surprisingly win the Europa League, they got a strong chance of getting in the Club World Cup tournament, which is 32 games. So meaning winning a European trophy, even if it's the Club World Cup, now matters. So I'm going to do a show about that. It actually now matters to win the European Conference League because it will help you in your coefficient in regards to the Club World Cup, which is going to be every 4 years. That tournament is going to be huge in the United States. TV contracts going to come up. And so that's a tournament now that the major teams want to win. And I know Daniel Levy would love to be in it, but because we're not in any tournament this year, we're not going to make it to qualify for the Club World Cup. So I'm going to do a show on that. So it's interesting. So West Ham winning it was kind of good for them. It's still an outside chance for them. They will have to win the Europa League, and some other teams may have to fall. But it's really interesting.
They qualified for the Europa League now that they won that, didn't they?
Yeah. If they could win that, they could go ahead of a couple of teams. Roma is up there because they won.
Did one of the sixth or seventh place teams end up getting knocked out of the Europa League?
Well, in the Europa League, you get
or
points.
Do they get an extra spot? No, I'm saying because normally the Europa League is because they finished outside of European positions, and because they won the Conference League, they got qualified for the Europa League automatically.
Europa League, yeah.
So does that mean that who got seventh?
Wasn't it Villa? Villa got it.
No, I guess seventh is Conference League, but what about sixth? Who got sixth? Brighton?
Brighton, yeah.
Does Brighton get knocked out of the Europa League then?
No. I think it's the same way they do.
Or they
the
get an extra
Champions
one?
League. No, I'm pretty sure they get an extra spot. I don't think if you make it through.
Thank you, Steph, for posting. That's the link. Soccer sessions. You wanna join content as soon as this week is going up. We're gonna have the show North London's Hours on Thursday premiering. So premiering this week. So we'll check out.
Sorry, what's the title? North London is ours.
No, North London is ours.
Okay.
Yep. North London is ours. It'll be a battle. It'll be a battle between the blue and the white and the red.
Cube, why were you laughing?
I'm just reading messages.
What a week to do your debut show. Arsenal signed Declan Rice, and Eric Dyer staying at Tottenham.
Yeah, I know it's gonna be. I was just.
Eric Dyer getting a documentary, by the way, guys.
We lost Abdul.
I know. What is with that? Why is there? I mean, our club is so tone deaf. Okay, so we do a documentary on Eric Dyer. Me, Eric Dyer. Like, all right, whatever.
Well, that's the series. Me.
And then,
the Lucas Moura one was called Me Too.
No, I know. That's what I mean. But then Hugo, which I'm not hearing all these people dragging Hugo because he's on his way out. Okay, he's been at our club for over 10 years, and he was our captain. So he's on his way out, and he would be a perfect person since he's leaving anyways, and he's been here for so long, and our captain, to do a me documentary on. And instead, they're doing me documentaries on frickin' Eric Dyer. You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, that's just. I don't know, man. Seriously, this club's ownership and the board is just too far from what the fans think.
I'm like, I mean, Eric Dyer or Hugo Lloris. I feel like that would be a very obvious decision to be made which one you should do a documentary on. Especially now. I mean, obviously they filmed it ahead of time, but still.
Well, I mean, maybe he's leaving, and that's why they did it. They did it with Lucas Moura when he left too, right? So maybe it's a maybe it's a
well,
good
they should have done one for Hugo. Instead, we did one for Lucas and we did one for Dyer. I mean, gross.
Of course, man. Just click the link. Come on in.
So, but
under no circumstances should Eric Dyer ever be given a documentary. There is what has he done to deserve that?
Yeah,
He's
okay,
been
for
here
Lucas
like 10
Moura,
years.
I understand that particular Champions League and all that, and then he was like kind of like a good player in a way, but Eric Dyer is like not even average. So why does he get a documentary? I don't know.
You're a turncoat, Elias. I know how you loved Eric Dyer for how long.
No, I didn't. I only loved Eric Dyer so that
I'm calling you
Sanchez
out.
doesn't start.
Now
Okay,
you're
I
trying to
only loved
distance
Eric
yourself from the Eric
Hey.
Dyer love.
Just
Cube,
Just
we will
so
never get
Sanchez
people
doesn't-
out of confirmation bias if we ridicule them once they escape it.
I only supported Eric Dyer just so Sanchez doesn't start alongside Emerson because I hate that combo in our defense. Like that combo is an absolute mess, and I think Sanchez is worse than Dyer still. That's the only debate that I started with Mia in Irish Hotspur's chat, and that's how people start saying, "Oh, I love Eric Dyer." Actually, that's not true.
I love Eric Dyer.
Irish Hotspur bigged up Eric Dyer a season ago. He was bigging
Oh,
him
he's a
up and
flip-flop.
telling fans off his back and stop being negative. And then he flipped back to calling him moon boots and this and that. The inconsistency in opinion across our fan base is mind blowing. Very few people actually have a backbone.
I can
to
put
stick
the
by
moon
their
boot shirt back up on the web store. We got a moon boot shirt that we can do. I've got it. I should go put the hoodie on. It's too hot to wear.
Hey, I admit, coming out of the 21-22 season, he was decent. So I was like, it's fine, whatever. I was like, didn't care that much about him staying. I wanted an upgrade, and I didn't say that he was good by any means, but I wasn't like pushing him out the door in the same way that I am now.
that first season of Conte, he wasn't horrible that season.
Yeah, like
right?
I was like, whatever, he can stay in the squad as like a
squad player. That's what I've always said. Even now, I think he'd be a fine backup. You know, like if you only had to play one or two games a season. Yeah.
Please.
I mean, who are you going to leave as the backup then? Joe Rodin? Come on now.
Do you know what I would do? Do you know what I would honestly do?
You'd have to sign 4 center backs then.
No, we don't.
At least Giroud can tackle.
If we actually, by the way, Dyer, Ben Davies, Longley, Sanchez, Sessegnon, that Chicken Royale, all of them, I will not change my opinion on. I think they're all average players. I don't care if they have 5 good games in a row. I think they're all average. I've got no.
Yeah, they're average.
Yeah, they're all average.
You're being generous.
You know, a lot of fans got on the whole Chicken Royale gravy train towards the end of the last season.
They're on it now. They're on it now.
No, it's crazy. It's crazy.
I still maintain it. And I got attacked, by the way, when I was still saying that he's not good enough after his little purple patch of like 1 month of like a few games of doing well. I got utterly attacked on stream for saying that, you know, he's still not good enough. And I don't care. I'm not eating my words. I still maintain it. I don't care what anybody says. He is not good enough.
Cubed. I've got no issue if someone changes their opinion. And I've got no issue if someone gets something wrong. Okay, because we all do it. I don't have an issue. Where I have an issue is where when they're good, yeah, they're amazing. When they're bad, get rid of them. When they're good again, like I guarantee you, next season, all the frauds in our fan base that turned their back on Son, that trashed Sonny, that all dicked on him and wanted him out of the club. If Sonny has a good season next year, they'll all be kissing his ass. They will all be kissing his ass. The same people that wanted him.
I disagree because people dicked and shit on him.
Offense.
I disagree because people dicked and shit on him in the season that he got Golden Boot.
No, but last year was something different. Well, last season was something different.
Last year was more. There were more people.
He was getting racial abuse. He was getting racial abuse on Twitter because he wasn't scoring goals. That's how deep it got with him. This year, if he does well this season,
he gets racial abuse whether or not he scored goals. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but Cube, I mean, it was very evident last season. It was happening a lot.
No, you know what irks me? I know you're not on Twitter. What irks me about this fan base, since you're talking about Dyer and Royale, is just that
Tottenham away back on Twitter. By the way, Tottenham went back on Twitter.
Back on Twitter. But the thing that gets that. I said our fan base is sometimes unintelligent, right? So, right, we say these players are horrible. Kudos, much props to Dele Alli and what he had and what he did. Now, people are now not trying to find the difference of you can criticize, you can critique a player, right, without getting personal, right? With the players, 100% agree. You can't get personal. You can't say, but now you got people saying, "Oh, yeah, that's what we gotta be careful when we critique them." No, if you're playing like garbage, I'm going to critique you, Emerson Royale or Eric Dyer. You're not good enough. You are not
Emerson
good
Royale
enough.
is garbage.
You are playing like garbage. I'm not saying that you are that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not getting personal saying you are that. I'm just talking about your play. I think people this week, the fan base is like
your performances, right?
Yeah. Play and who the person is, and so that's what frustrated the fan base. So I said, okay, so you're telling me that we're not allowed now to criticize anyone for their play, or are you? So
no, you can't. And in fact, you don't want to get me started on the daily other thing because I'm going to start pissing people off. But before I piss people off, let's bring him in for the first. I don't think it's the first time, maybe the second time. I can't remember, but I see him in the chat all the time. First time. Wow, first time caller to the show, long time watcher. He's come out of the cave. The caveman himself is here. What's going on, caveman?
Not much, man. Nice to see y'all.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you. No, thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Where are you from, caveman?
Yeah, no, I'm always lurking in the background, so I figured maybe I should just pop out of my cave for a little bit and just say hi to everybody.
Yeah, caveman's here from the US.
I'm here to represent the USA, man.
You can't tell by his accent, Elias.
I cannot differentiate between the accents. I've told you before.
No, not yet. No, not yet.
Sounds like a West Coaster to me.
Oh, no. I'm from Boston. Boston sports.
Okay.
We're up here, all right? Everybody else.
Very good. But you don't have a Boston accent. You don't park your car in the yard.
Nah, I do not park my car in the yard.
That's good.
Are you wearing a kit? What kit are you wearing?
This is
wearing the Spurs kit?
last season. Yeah.
Last
Look at
season.
it right there. Boom, right there. And I got
Benny.
Stelios has that kit.
Benny.
Yeah, this kit was really nice, so I had to get it. But I don't
The
know
one he did.
Beloved Benny.
Yeah, I think the last time I went on any Spurs show streams or anything like that was the Richarlison announcement. So it's been a while since I've actually been on a stream for anybody else. So
that's good.
We're
glad
you got
you're here, man.
Who you got in the back of yours, Stal?
Stelios.
Admit he's got Royale in back.
Yes.
Admit it, you got Royale in
best,
back.
best of the best.
No, I've got cubed is a fraud. Cubed is a fraud. No, nothing. I don't put anyone. I don't put anything on the back of my shirt.
Wrexham rules? What was that?
So let me piss people. Let me piss some people off on the Dele Alli thing, right? So I want to preface what I'm about to say. With the
you
fact
asshole, Will.
I know the Dele Alli is the first, not the only, but the first name I ever got on the back of a Spurs kit. It was one of my favorite players. Equal up there with Heung-min Son for me in the 15-16. 16-17, so even 17-18 season. I love the kid, right? Loved him. While I think that it's absolutely horrible of the things that happened to him as a youngster, I find it a bit suspect that once his career went into the toilet, because he wasn't in the toilet before, is when he starts to bring it all up as if it's an excuse for why he's fallen off the way that he's fallen off. When I don't think that that's the cause. I think it's because before he got his big money contract, right? He may have still struggled with all of those same things that he's struggling with now, and he was performing at the top of the game, right? You guys couldn't. He was unplayable for a lot of the games at that point in time. Having the same childhood, the same experiences, probably even going through worse, right? Because at that time was when his parents were coming out, his dad was coming out of the woodwork, his mom was causing problems, right? It was probably even more stress for him then. For me, it was the money and the fame is what caused his downturn, and he needs to take responsibility for that. But that's just my opinion.
I agree.
No, I agree with you. That's because that's also part of the reason. Not to say
I think that's part of it.
Yeah. Now the thing, apparently they said that there was going to be, he was kind of forced to also speak out because I guess people will talk about why was he missing in Turkey. There was going to be a report, like they will try to look for him. So he had to say that, you know, he was at rehab and stuff. Because originally, at first, he didn't know what to say it, which I totally understand. The media can be terrible, but no, I'm glad you brought that up. Well, in a sense of, you know, me being, most people don't know, I am a mental health counselor. I'm a guidance counselor. I work with young adults, kids, and sometimes their parents. You know, it's real tricky. It's real tricky when in regards to mental health. In regards to when people try to find a nice way to say it, because like I said, I work in the field, but in regards to his downturn, it was also in the sense of not doing what he needed to do to stay on par. Like those things happen to you in your past, yes. And if you don't get full healing from what you have suffered in the past, yes, it can affect your future. But you need a couple of events to happen, right? You're in a slump. These things then come out, right? Now the slump could be for any reason, right? It could be lack of practicing, it could be, you know, it could be anything. And so that's why when I saw the interview, and like I said, it was great. Great job by Gary Neville, but also it is, and I'll say this, he did take responsibility. He said, hey, I'm not looking for excuse or whatsoever. So he did take responsibility. Yeah. He did take responsibility for, okay, my downplay.
And that's why I'm trying. That's why I'm not trying to be a dick. And in fact, he even said with his own mouth, he doesn't want people to pity him, which is actually kind of what the response that he got, right? And I'm saying, I hope, right, that in spite of, because he's come to this realization now the ball's in his court, that he needs to take that step and get back to where he was, or get better, like he said that was his goal, right? It's not to get back to where he was, but to go above and beyond that. And I hope he does that. Like I said, he was one of my favorite players at the time, but I'm not going to give him like this, you know.
Well, can I say something about this? Because here's the thing, like, people after that interview are getting all like, oh, we should give I even saw some fans on Twitter be like, we should get Dele Alli back and we should give him a chance again. And I'm like, nope. Like, that is not what we need to do, because he fell apart and we need to move forward. And just because he's come out and said that this is what he was struggling with doesn't mean that we need to go back to a situation that wasn't working out. If anything, that interview to me reflected really badly on our club, because of the fact that, like, he is talking about how he had sleeping pills and all this different stuff, and he got it from doctors, and maybe not all of it was club doctors, but how come they didn't know? And I'm just like, what's with our medical team? What's up with that? They have no idea what's going on, like that he's putting this stuff into his system and clearly don't care. I don't know. Anyways, I don't know the true story behind that either, so I shouldn't make any sort of, attacks or something like that. But I will say this about Dele Alli talking about his abuse and his trauma. The reason why he fell apart, in my opinion, is because of a combination of things. I agree with you, Will. But him having that trauma and stuff, he doesn't have the foundation, so that when he becomes successful, when he becomes successful, when he has money, when he feels like he has power, he's powerful and he's invincible, that he's not able to hold his head down,
make good decisions,
and keep level-headed. So it does contribute. His trauma in the past does contribute to it, because he doesn't have that foundation.
No, 100%.
already
I agree with
set.
that.
If you look at the players that are really able to hold, you know, and maintain a huge level of success, it's the players like, you look at Harry Kane. He's got a really, you could think whatever you want about Charlie Kane, but I mean, he's got a strong family around him, a strong family system around him that's supporting him, that he keeps close and tight. He's a family man. You know, his wife is, you know, his childhood sweetheart. You know, he's got that foundation there. Sonny, his parents live in the same house with him. His mom's cooking for him every day. He's got that foundation. And you got Dele Alli, and even though his adoptive family he says was great, he doesn't have that strong foundation around him. And because he doesn't have that, when you have a huge amount of success, it's very hard to maintain that and keep your head on with your self-esteem and self-confidence being level if without it. I mean, you look at, I mean, Lewis Hamilton has been asked this. I know I'm starting to follow F1, but people asked him, like, what's harder, maintaining or chasing? And he said he'd rather chase. Maintaining is harder.
Yeah, once you get there, it's hard to
when
continue.
Dele Alli was coming up and having lots of success in the initial time, he was chasing, and then he hit that success, and it was harder for him to maintain it.
Yeah.
No, I agree with that. I think those are valid.
And for me, being a counselor, I always promote that, you know, if you ever get the chance to go to a counselor, take the advantage. I'll use a personal example. You know, some of you know when my dad died, I mean, that was my world. But as soon as my dad died, you know, I was able to deal with it through counseling, which actually helped me to be a better counselor. Whereas another member of my family wasn't able to deal with it, didn't show any signs of it, and just went through life until one stressor came in where life wasn't doing good, and all of a sudden the drinking whatsoever was all tend to, because they still are hurting off the loss of my dad, and that was like 10 years ago. And so it was just like, you know, my sibling hid that for 10 years. And I was always saying, hey, are you okay? Are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay, I'm okay. They weren't okay, right? And then once life stressor came in, that's when it all came out. It all came out. And good thing, me and my other siblings were able to support my other sibling, but my other sibling got into trouble with the law, and it just came out of nowhere, just boom, because they've been hurting from it. It's kind of like what Dele Alli would say, yeah, I'm laughing, I'm smiling, but he's really hurting. So if you haven't dealt with that, it's always going to come back out. And so when he went probably in his slump, because you didn't see him when he was on his highs, but when he was going through his slump, this is when now the addictions, the things of the past, unresolved, has come back. And this is where you get to a point where it's magnified in his behavior that affected his career and whatsoever. So in everyday life, you know, you want to be able to deal with whatever issue, whatever trauma that you've gone to have that support system for that person, you know, family or friends or close friend that can say, hey, check up on you. If you don't have that, that is tough. That is tough. And there are people in the world, they feel that they have no one to talk to and stuff. I'll say out there, if you know anybody struggles with anything, like I said, they want to talk, you know, I'm online. You could send me a private message. I could be able to help. I mean, this is my 9-to-5 job in regards to helping people deal with trauma and whatsoever. But that's what I wanted to say, and echo exactly what Cube says, that, you know, there are things, if it's not resolved, yeah, they do come back in the future, especially if another trauma or stressful event comes in.
And then also, like, the maintain part is like, not only is it hard to maintain, but once he did kind of fall off his pedestal, you know, it's always hard to get back up after that, because then his confidence is beat up, right? And he's like, oh my God, you know, now I'm like, people think I'm lazy. Now people think I'm terrible and all this different stuff. And then it becomes really hard, you know, it becomes even harder when you're having to get back up again after having gone after having fallen, basically. And so I think, and then if you remember, he had like a little purple patch right when Jose came around that time, because I think he was talking about this, and it probably makes sense that he fell off around the time that Poch, you know, was leaving and everything, and then Jose came, and then he had a little purple patch, and then he kind of fell apart again. And like if people remember, he got his house got broken into. He got robbed during COVID.
Yeah.
Like, and he got like hit, like he got assaulted. Like, I don't realize people, and I said it on a stream like several months ago, but I don't know, people probably weren't paying attention. I basically was like, oh, if you look back, he fell apart like right around that time again, you know? So that's got to be like tough to deal with as well. But that does not necessarily mean that that's an excuse for him not playing well. It's just that those are all contributing factors, but it totally doesn't mean that it's like, okay, like he gets a pass and you should get him back. Like what he needs, in my opinion, is he needs to go probably not back to the Prem. It's too much pressure on the Prem. He should just, instead of trying to get back to the success that he had or go past it, he should not put so much pressure on himself. He should just go and enjoy his football. Find a way to enjoy his football in a low pressure environment, whether that be going down a championship, maybe, or maybe Wrexham.
I knew you were going to say it.
You know?
Yo, Will, you're frozen, by the way, your screen. But
I'm not froze. That's just a picture that I have when I'm off cam.
Never mind.
Go for it, so.
I got a message from a doctor who's a Spurs fan. He talks to me once in a while. He likes to update me on what he thinks of our current injury situations. And when the Dele Alli video came out, he said to me he questions Tottenham Hotspur's prescription culture and the duty of care towards the player. This thing about the sleeping pills is no joke. I'm not using it as an excuse for Dele, but it is no joke. My mum, God rest her soul, she became, I believe, addicted to cocodamol because of her pain. It would take the pain away and actually allow her to sleep. I don't know if you guys have ever been in pain and you just want to sleep, but you can't because you're in so much pain, whatever it is that's happened to you or illness. And that has it fixes one problem, but it creates another one. And I think that, look, for me, trauma is no joke. Like, he's clearly had severe trauma in his life. When he said, I was molested at 6, I was forced to sell drugs at 8, I got hanged off a bridge at 11. This is insane. Like, this is insane shit. So the question for me is, well, how did you deal with that trauma and go on to become a professional football player? Because that is unbelievable pressure you've had to deal with to get to that level. How did you do that and then perform at the highest level with Spurs and nearly win everything with Spurs? But then from having everything, like the biggest turnaround of an awful childhood to an amazing young adulthood, how have you collapsed then? Because
I think it was the success, right? Like, it was the success. Like, that's what kind of.
How did he get to that success? But how did you deal with your trauma? Yeah, but this is my point. But the fact I agree, it's easier to chase than it is to stay there. But to me, I think, but this is just my opinion. I'm no medical expert. It's just me trying to read the situation. I think there's a little bit of an excuse here coming from him to justify it. There's a little bit of an excuse. But I think that as soon as it all went shit at Spurs, we saw a lot of players go to shit. Vertonghen went to shit. Eriksen went to shit. Everything collapsed. I think that downturn in general and managers saying, up your game. Come on, where's the old Dele Alli? I think that unearthed the past. And it brought back, it triggered the demons. And I can relate to that. I thought I dealt with a few things that happened to me over the last 4 or 5 years. And then, pow, suddenly you're like, do you know what? I haven't dealt with this. So, and mine wasn't nowhere near the level of what Dele described. So I think a majority of it is the trauma coming back.
We lost you. You froze on us.
I think a thing to really consider too is the coping mechanisms that people have can be different between, you know, person to person. Everybody deals with things differently. You know, some people just say suck it up. Some people say you have to deal with it like, you know, step by step. But at the same time, like Stel said, Dele had dealt with it at some point in time during his career as a young star. And at some point, it just came crashing down, which really sucks because he was very much a star. And I was very critical after he had gone down. And I've always had the stance in which I think no player is exempt from criticism, Sonny included. I was very extreme on him last season, but I know he's going to get back into form next season and make me look like a fool, which I really hope he does because I love him. He's a great player. But a thing, too, that we have to remember as fans is that these players are people, too. And we can't just, you know, slate them so harshly that we, you know, start getting into their personal life. Just keep it like solely to football. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%. That's what I mean. That's what rational people do, right?
Right.
They're able to distinguish between, you know, his sporting ability and where his current form is, and then his personal life, which they're definitely related, right? Things,
right?
You know,
there's always external things that will.
Yeah, well, like when I'm super stressed, I tend to push harder, and that's just kind of my coping mechanism with things, right? Like when
like as I said,
that it
for
comes,
everybody.
you know, I struggle with a little bit of procrastination issues, and when things are going well, it's easy for me to procrastinate because it doesn't require me to actually do my best, right? Because things are going well. But then when the shit hits the fan, that's when you kind of have to, you know, buckle it up and you know, I come from a different generation where that's just how we dealt with things in the 80s and 90s.
And all that.
Yeah, and so
not allowed to cry.
But like everybody,
I don't got a problem crying. But what I'm saying
Hell yeah.
is it's not an emotional, you know, abandonment or whatever that I can't feel like I can't express my emotions. But it's for me, it's just nobody's gonna help me but me. Right, like as much as friends are there to support you and to give you positive reinforcement, stuff like that. At the end of the day, I got to be the one to step up. Otherwise,
yeah. And
you know,
here's the thing:
give me a handout.
To Dele's credit, like it's not like he was saying that it wasn't his fault or something. Like it wasn't like he was trying to be like, look, you know, like, even though he told his story, it wasn't like he was like, woe is to me, it's everybody else's fault. Like it wasn't like that at all. So
big respect
to be fair,
doing all that,
right? And that, but
like I don't.
To him, I give that fair. But what my reaction to is more the other people, right? There's people in the community on Twitter or whatever who are making it, who are giving him the pity that he didn't want in the first place, right? Like I think that if he is the person that he says he is, if he's being true and genuine to that, he would appreciate somebody being honest and saying, you know, why I think what happened to you is horrid. Right, now's the time where you have to make the decision in your mind, because that's what it takes. If any addiction, it comes to a point where the individual has to make the choice that they're not going to live like that anymore, right?
Well, the thing that I felt like was the case with and I could be totally wrong, but the impression that I was getting was that he was telling his story because the media had caught him going to rehab and it was going to come out, and he wanted the truth to come out and the way that he wanted to be able to control the narrative instead of
that's what I'm saying. Like my
media
of
catching
Dele,
him in rehab, and which they were already caught him in rehab and already contacting him his team all the time, and then spinning it in whatever way that they wanted to spin it. He wanted to get ahead of that and say, look, I want to control the narrative. I don't know if he would have come out. This is what he claims. He wouldn't have come out and talked about it if not for the media, you know, finding him in rehab and going and contacting his team incessantly about it.
And that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not criticizing him as an individual or even how he's handled the situation. What I'm criticizing is the response from the fan base of pitying a guy who doesn't want to be pitied.
Well,
yeah.
I want to say this before Stel says this. This is you gotta be very careful when you have like a statement like this, because you don't have to be in a situation where 10,000 people are belittling you. It could be your job.
I'm a YouTuber. It happens all the time.
Yeah. So it could be your job where people are belittling your personal character. It could be your church. It could be your neighbor. It could even
be your significant other. Even one person. Like, it's
One
who you
person.
care about the most, right? That hurts the most, right?
This is a consultation. It could be one person. We got Stel, who's been very open about what he had to go through, like through Twitter. It could be as many people, or it could just be one person. One person, it can tap you, and that person reacts in a different way. We're all somewhat different, so it's very hard to kind of say, okay, be in that situation with 10,000 people. No, I can feel that way with coworkers. When I went into my new school that I worked into, there were some things that were said, and I felt that was just only 5 or 6 people. So it's really kind of you can't take that and put it upon everybody else, especially when it comes to mental health or someone's spiritual state and how they react to things.
Yeah, and it all comes down to the point that as an individual, at some point, you've got to stop caring about, like, when you're getting, and I know it sounds harsh and it's not an easy thing to do. It takes a lot of time and a lot of self-reflection. But when a person, an individual, whoever it is, it could be friends, it could be the public, it could be a loved one, it could be whoever, if they're constantly criticizing you, you have to shut them off at some point. You just have to stop listening, right? And you have to find it within, yourself or something. You have to do whatever it takes to get you out of that negative cycle and that negative sphere. And you just have to continue to move on, right? Because when you dwell and reflect on the negative things that people say, instead of looking at the positive things that you can accomplish, that's when you've already lost. Like, the game's already over. You might as well check out. You can't live like that.
yeah,
you can't live in that hole.
I just wanted to finish what I was saying, because whilst I was talking, we had a blackout for like 5 seconds, and all the power just went off. So I had to reboot everything. I don't know, it was like a surge, but what I was saying is,
I caught you while you were gone. I promise.
It's normally peaceful when I'm gone. I think with Delhi, I think it's a little bit of an excuse, but I think the majority of it is actual trauma. And the reason why I say it's an excuse links to what you guys were saying. You have to take ownership of it. And sadly, the world we're growing up at the moment isn't teaching kids or young people to take ownership. It's teaching them to blame someone or cry victim or say, I've got an issue. It is a weaker generation coming through. I don't care what anyone says to me. I see it all the time. They've got the strength within, but they're not being told it's okay to use that strength. They're being told, no, just be, I can't deal with this situation. I can't cope with this. Coping mechanism. It's ridiculous. And Delhi actually said it. He said, the biggest problem was to admit I had a problem. He said that, to admit I had a problem. That's ownership. He took ownership of it. And
I hope he's doing a good thing now.
That's where I rate Dele Alli. He took ownership of it. But at the same time, I'm sympathetic because I think Cube said it. He didn't have the support growing up. He didn't have that support mechanism. So who was he listening to at 21, 22? He's listening to his friends. They're just with him to party. They're just there to get free holidays and free cheap girls and boys, whatever they're into, right? They weren't there for Delhi. The people he's surrounded with. So where's your support system? And I think someone said Harry Kane. He's got his
Harry's got a good support system. Sonny, the people that are able to be successful and maintain the success, or they all have a strong support system. But the other thing,
Eric Guy and Harry were good to me. Last thing I want to say, Cube, on this. Last thing I want to say on
Go
this.
ahead.
Right? It's all good and well, the fans now jumping on this. Oh, bless Delhi, and it is good what we're doing as a fan base, being sympathetic and whatnot. But a couple of years ago, Danny Rose had a mental health breakdown. No one gave a shit. I don't like the way we cherry pick as well. Danny Rose went through mental health problems.
That's true.
He said, I'm struggling. He said to the media, I'm having mental health issues. Where was the support from our fans?
He was blackballed out Spurs and out the league. No one said anything with Danny Rose. Right. Yeah, he was.
Okay, Danny Rose is one, and the way actually, I mean, I've said this on a couple of other channels. The way they sing that they wish Sol Campbell to die, that song. I mean, that's horrible. I mean, that's not good for anybody's mental health either. Come on,
Yeah,
man.
but I mean,
Like,
they
grow
don't.
up.
I don't think that when the majority of people when they sing that song, they don't actually want him to die, right? There's a
Yeah.
difference.
But
there.
still, I mean, why do you sing even that song? Like, it's so childish.
Elias,
man.
if I'm going to
It's
be
in
honest
poor
with you,
taste,
if
but-
I'm going to be honest with you, there's not one Spurs fan in that time when it happened that gave a shit about Sol Campbell's mental health. If I'm being really brutally honest, the hate, dude, they were hanging dummies of him in the stadium saying traitor when he returned. The hate was real. It's you're right. It's not right, but welcome to real diehard football fans. That's what it's about. Doesn't mean it's right though. I'm not
It's
saying it's
definitely
right, but that's
culture these days. Yeah, it's not as intense as it used to be. I would say.
I guess there's
in,
certain
in
boundaries.
Italy, Greece, Turkey, Argentina.
Mhm.
You go to the
Woo!
rival
Ultras.
club.
Those ultras, whew,
Good night.
Yeah, your life. It's life or death.
cutthroat. It's cutthroat.
Zaniolo had to escape for his life to go to Turkey because he wanted to go to another Serie A club. Like it's crazy. They do a pig's head because of Figo.
Yep.
When Figo went from Barcelona to Real Madrid, they threw a pig's head on the field. You know, I've heard some crazy stuff that these other fans have done. And it's just like, oh man.
I remember seeing as a debate topic too, a lot of people saying that if Kane were to leave us for free and go to another English club, would it be equivalent to Judas doing what he did? I would say no, because Judas said that he would not leave us during that period of time, whereas Kane had never made that promise. So I don't think you could equate it to the same thing. Whereas the
Judas
sentiment
said.
in your heart, yeah.
Yeah,
I
why are we
think,
calling him
I think the
Judas?
sentiment in the
He's a
heart is
Kane
like,
guy.
we don't want to see him play for another club, of course. That would hurt, like, to any extent. But he never promised us that he's going to stay. He's done a lot for us, and honestly, I think we should sell him before we let him
We
go
got
for
Ryan.
free.
Let me ask you guys a question, right? To back up what Caveman said and the subject Elias raised. If this summer Son and Kane signed for Arsenal, please tell me what the reaction would be, and tell me how many fucks would be given about the mental health of Kane and Son.
Okay, I think I'll be disappointed. Let's say I'll be disappointed, honestly, but I won't like call them names and all that. I think I'll understand the
Rubbish.
situation.
Elias, rubbish.
I think I'll.
You call other Spurs fans' names when you get into argument. You are going to pepper Kane and Son.
no.
So will I. We will all destroy them.
We'll be having a party. We'll be having a party.
Okay,
we'll be
so
having a
maybe hold on.
party.
Maybe going to Arsenal is a bad example, but Elias, if Son
But that's-
decided to
but
go
that's
on
what Sol
Mia's
Campbell
show,
did.
hold on.
But that's
If
what Sol
Son,
Campbell did.
hold on. If Son decided to go on Mia's show and big her up and call you a dummy, how would you feel then?
He would never do that. Not on that idiot lady show. Never. I don't think Sun would ever go there because the amount of shit she puts on Sun is also everybody has seen that. Actually, I don't think Sun would ever do that. No
But
Tottenham player in their
the
right
hypotheticals, if he did, right? What would you say about him then? That's the
I'll feel
question.
bad for him. I'll pity him. Yeah. I might think that maybe there's something wrong with Sun's brain or something. Yeah, I'll just show some sympathy.
You
Yeah.
already just said something negative about him right then and there.
No, I said it. Yeah,
He's
I will think
mentally
maybe something.
unstable,
Yeah, something like that.
physically damaged in the brain.
I didn't
I'd be
say that.
sick,
I said
honestly. No,
mentally
I
unstable.
honestly, it's sitting in me right now. I'm just thinking about it right now. If Kane and Son were to sign to Arsenal tomorrow, that would just damage my soul. Because I'd be like, God, that's just too much to handle. I mean, that'd be a lot of money coming in.
See, I'm more
What
cynical
would you
than that.
say?
I'm more
what would
cynical
you say,
that
though,
I would
Caveman?
blame.
Fuck 'em.
I would blame the fan base.
Yeah, no, we're fickle and we're very crude too.
I would blame
You know,
Mia for
at the
that.
same time, like, look at our team structure and like our club structure. We're so bad. Like, what are we doing? And like, I don't want to bring American sports into it, but like, being a fan of Boston sports, I've seen a lot of success in my teams before Sporting Spurs, and like the last 6 years, all I've seen is just poor management, poor like business being conducted, and just everything. Like the whole infrastructure is just incredibly poor. I do not like it. And like this, the fact that a lot of fans settle for mediocrity is just beyond me.
Yeah, but for me, I would blame the fans because especially on the Sun side of things, right? Like Harry Kane, he's been wanting to go for a couple years now, right? To be honest with you,
I wanted him to go to City last year. Honestly, I'd rather have taken the money, let him succeed.
With the Sun thing, you know what? I'd almost be like, you got what you deserve, right? Fan base, you guys wanted to turn against him. You got what you deserve.
Yeah, I agree.
I think I'll feel the similar way as well because I hate this fan base as much as,
Dude, if Harry Kane,
I don't hate the fan base. I
if
just hate
Harry
the idiots.
Kane and Son turned up in an Arsenal shirt in the North London derby, and the announcer
Love it.
goes, "And here's your Arsenal team: number 9, Harry Kane; number 10, Heung-min Son." There's going to be a war of hate in the terraces. It's
You
got
got to blame Daniel
disgusting.
Levy at that point.
So
Can you imagine a front three of Son, Kane, and Saka? That's kind of insane, by the way.
So if somebody was to be like, look, Cube, who has never been to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, the site of Beyonce, and gloriously, and an F1, a little F1 go-kart track. If they were like, look, Cube, we know you're a big Spurs fan. We will fly you out to London. We will have you sit in the, attend the North London Derby at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium to watch Son and Kane play for Arsenal. I would turn it down.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I would never go and watch that game. All expenses paid trip, everything. I would not. There's no way. I was like, I'd be like, no.
but Cubed, you wouldn't. But people would pay a premium to be there to give them hell. I was there when Sol Campbell came back to Spurs. I am telling you, I've never experienced anything so toxic. It was disgusting. As soon as Sol Campbell came out the tunnel to do his warm-up, his body folded. He's like, he was shocked by the reception. So, listen, you're right. Sol Campbell die for someone's mental health is not good. Football fans don't give a shit when they've had enough.
What are the fans going to do to Poch when he comes?
I think they're going to boo him. I think they're going to boo him.
I mean, I know Scott. Scott M is going to.
It's kind of the same way I'm with Poch. Like, I don't blame Pochettino for going to Chelsea. I blame the people.
I agree.
Who are responsible for it.
Because
that's not why they're going to boo him.
Over. It's like treating a girlfriend very poorly, and she goes to a better person. It's like, why can you be mad at them? You treated them like shit. So it's like,
yeah, but that's not why they're going to boo him. I think
I wouldn't
him going to Chelsea wasn't going to cause a boo. What's going to cause a boo? For me, I'm going to clap him. I don't understand this, right? He like you said. But the interview where he said Chelsea's been the best club in England the last 15 years, which factually is true when you look at trophies, it's a fact.
Yeah.
The fact he said that comment, he's going to get a boo.
Yeah,
he
could have been more conscious about it, right? Like he could have, been a little more political in his answer.
It was not nice.
Assholes.
Spurs
fans are assholes. Remember this: Spurs fans are assholes. When it suits them, Son's the best. When it doesn't suit them, get him out of our club. When Pochettino is available and everyone wants Conte out, he's magic. As soon as he goes Chelsea,
while Conte's on the sideline.
Can't wait for him to come back. We're going to give him shit. It's like, you don't know what you want, man. Like, you literally don't know what you want as a fan base.
That's all football fans. All football fans are fickle.
It's fickle. Yeah, it's super fickle.
It's not just Spurs fans. No, it's all football fans. I'm telling you, every football fan.
I'm not fickle.
I'm talking about fan
I'm not
bases,
fickle either.
It's not like
fan
bases, not you specifically, but like fan bases and like football Twitter in general. They're all fickle. Like, you can't just say there's only Spurs fans.
Yeah, it's because their IQs are like 10.
No, Abdul, I never said it's just Spurs fans. I'm telling you, Spurs fans, do you know what they do? They go whichever way the wind blows. If the wind blows west, we'll go west. If it blows east, we'll go east. How's about you take a position and stick to that direction? We don't do it as a fan base. I'm telling you.
That's because the majority of people, unfortunately, aren't rational thinkers, right? They're not critical thinkers, right? And that's the problem with humanity as a whole.
I think the people that are going to boo Pochettino are kind of like the people that cut you off in traffic and drive slower. they just don't know what they're doing. Like, he has reason to go there.
Or what I always love, the thing that really does me in traffic is when I'm following, I don't tailgate people. And so I'll leave, if I'm going 70 miles an hour, I'll leave about 4 or 5 car lengths between me and the car in front of me, right? So I'll be in the fast lane and in traffic, going, 5-10 miles an hour over the speed limit, right? And then I'll have some idiot who wants to go faster pass me on the right and then pull right in front of me to gain, 30 feet?
And then
right? Like, and it's like, where did you go? Right? Like, why did you have to, pull in front of me to gain 3 inches?
When you could have just kept going.
You could have just kept going behind me at a normal distance.
Sorry, people in the comments saying all sports fans are like that. They're not. They're not. Liverpool fans are not like that. Liverpool fans don't turn on their own. And when they come back, no matter what, they applaud them. Even Liverpool players that have gone to Everton, they will always show respect that you represented our club, Liverpool. It's a cultural thing at Spurs. There are other clubs similar to us, yes, but do not say all fans are like that. They're not. Spurs fans, I'm telling you, we're so
flip-floppy.
Massively, dude, massively.
And it's
well,
like
they were totally turning against Salah this past season. Just saying.
When Tina left to
Yeah,
PSG,
but the cubes,
Criticizing, but they'll always.
No, I know. I'm just teasing.
when Pochettino left, everybody said, "Oh, we're gonna wish him the best to
tease.
do whatever,
What's that team
make him
struggle?
happy, do his whole thing to better his career." Now he's going to Chelsea. I would say a better team structurally wise when it comes to business and conducting their things. I think they're a much better team in that regard. And as it stands at the moment, on the table, we're of course higher than them, but I would still say they're structurally more composed than we are. So I would say he's in a better place, and I will be happy for him. I'm not going to be too happy where it's if he wins, silverware with them, I'm going to be like, fuck, that sucks. But
Still,
he's in a better place.
Dude,
you remember when Rooney got those death threats? He couldn't come out his house when he almost went to Real Madrid. The United fans were kind of turning on him if he had gone to Real Madrid. I remember because he had to change his mind and stay at United because Real Madrid, I forgot what year it was, and I'm reading the reports. I'm like, there's death threats for him if he thinks about going to Real Madrid. And I was just like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. Listen,
Definitely too
Murray,
far used it.
look, you get nutters at every club, every sports club. You get the wild ones, right? What I'm saying about Spurs is we are so disjointed in what we say and what we do, and we change like the direction of the wind. The best example is Levy. So many people criticized those that said Levy out for so many years, and then suddenly last year, everyone wants to jump on the Levy out train. Okay, we signed Postecoglou. Yep, I'm not Levy out anymore. That's it. That's all it took. Although you never once said you wanted Postecoglou, you said you wanted Nagelsmann, you said you wanted Pochettino, you said you were happy with Arne Slot. None of you said Postecoglou. But as soon as he comes and you watch a couple of YouTube videos, that's it. I'm Levy in. Oh, where does your brain pick up on the idea that that's everything sorted out? And then
Conte is the worst coach we've ever had.
Worst coach.
Conte is the worst manager we've ever had. Suddenly, Conte's the worst manager we've ever had. After you were seeing Antonio just a season ago.
Yeah, and got top 4. It's all good. And Postecoglou comes. That's it. Not Levy out now. But as soon as we go to Australia without a new centre back signing, right? I'm Levy out. All right, no, I'm Levy out. What?
I think it's I mean, I've never pivoted off that stance. I'm still Levy out. So until he really gets centre back,
change your mind.
maybe
I don't mind. I don't mind if people change their minds, but stick with one for more than 5 minutes, man.
For sure.
Stick with one. It's like Fabrizio Romano. Everyone's trying to be like Fabrizio Romano. What I'll do, I'll give you 5 outcomes of what's going to happen with Kane, and if one of them happens, well, guess what? I told you. But you told me every outcome. You told me every possible outcome. What do you mean you told me? You told me everything. You know?
This past week, because it's Sunday for you guys, so still Saturday. This was supposed to be a big week. I see on Twitter, I see on YouTube channels. Everybody has an ITK. this is the week. It's going to be a big week. And that's not talking about Solomon. And now it's about to be a new week. What happened to this big week? What happened to the number one priority for the last 3 years, right? Everybody said, we're cooking. This is starting to be the greatest transfer window ever. We are now in Australia with Eric Dyer and Sanchez. Either one of them will be starting. This game on Tuesday. Like, that is unbelievable. Our fan base is so seesaw because everybody's like, yeah, everything's so great. We signed Madison. Great. I love Madison. But he wasn't our number one priority. Our number one priority, clearly, 63 goals. 63 goals was the defense. The defense. At least 2 center backs, 3 we really need, right? And I think personally, we need a CDM. Personally, so
massively,
it's now people trying to find ways. Well, the transfer window's not closing. Wait, hold on. You're criticizing Romero. He needs a quality partner to go with. Well, you didn't even get at least one center back to practice with him with these next upcoming preseason games. That's why I said this fan base is comical. Really, I just sit back and watch and eat popcorn and just see the wave of emotions. It's like a seesaw.
Mari, do you know what the tragedy is here? Right, I'm predicting this. I'm going to predict this. Here comes the clips. Look, Elias is already doing the cutting. He's cutting the segment. We're going to go on this tour, and Dyer and Sanchez are going to play okay. They're going to play okay. They might even have 1 or 2 really good games. And Postecoglou is going to end up keeping them. Because pre-season, yeah, man. Yeah, I can work with these guys. And then we're going to get to November, and Postecoglou is going to be in major trouble because he kept these idiots. And it's because he joined us late as a manager. He only started a week ago, right? Yeah. There's no football director. Levy's dealing with the transfers. We weren't ready for this. We weren't ready for this. We need Dyer and Sanchez to have a terrible 3 weeks. Let's pray they are terrible, because it's the only way this manager is going to turn around to the club and say, "Get me some defenders, man."
You act like him turning around and saying that's going to make much of a difference.
What we need to do is
you're right.
Just like bombard him with
on
messages.
That drum for how long and nothing happened. Hasn't anybody realized the managers are not calling the shots? Levy is calling the shots. The club is calling the shots. If Levy was not calling the shots, why is all the PR coming out? Oh, well, Levy was on this deal. He prioritized it. Levy was making sure to really be a tough negotiator on this. Then if you're going to get the credit for getting Madison in, then you also have to get the fault for not getting center backs. Like, you can't have the credit for signing and not have, and then just be like, I'm blameless in not getting, dead weight out. So it's got to be the same guy, right?
Yeah, no, it's right. You got to get the praise when you do well, and you got to get the grief when you do shit.
Yeah, no,
we haven't done well
I don't
yet.
think it's the manager. I don't. The manager is not. It's not about the manager.
It's never about the manager.
It's not. He's not making the decisions. It's absolutely. And then people are like, "Oh, how do you know that?" Well, he wants the credit for when he makes a good signing. He wants the credit for it. So
this is like the only manager. Sorry, the only manager I rate at Spurs, the only one I rate 100% in the last 10 years is Antonio Conte. As much as I loved Poch and his football and what he tried to do, and as much as I loved Mourinho for getting us to a final with that shit team, and as much as I enjoyed it under Redknapp and Martin Jol, for me, Conte was the best manager we ever had for one reason only. He's the only one that had the fucking balls to sit there in front of the media and trash the truth out there and lay it out straight facts. Mourinho never did it. Poch, don't call me manager, call me coach. What is that? Conte,
he's telling you who's in charge, right? That's the point.
Fire. Conte was fire what he did.
Yeah.
And this is the thing that bothers me. There was people that were in this argument today too. Like there was this beef going on. Like some ITK on Twitter was saying that Postecoglou was upset because he had requested that there would be at least one center back in before they left to Australia, and that didn't happen. Yeah,
1 week. 1 week.
1 week.
And then
he's gonna learn how to get used to it.
but the problem that really burns my guff is you get all of these people who will deny abductive reasoning, right? And say, well, you don't know. Well, you don't know that Levy's not doing it either, right? So if you want to play the sophistry game, right? Like if you believe that you can't know anything for certain, then that's okay. But I can have a maximally certainty about something that I don't know for certain based on abductive reasoning, right? If you have pieces of evidence that create a puzzle, this is what analysis is all about, right? It's about not having a complete picture, but making a decision or a conclusion about something based on the evidence that is available. And when there's a mountain of evidence that shows that Daniel Levy, even in this current transfer window, right, is the one who's heading up the signings, you can't say that he's not, right? Scott Munn just started, hasn't even started yet.
He hasn't started yet.
Right, so who's doing it? If Postecoglou just started a week ago, Scott Munn hasn't started yet. Who's doing it?
And if he's not, then it's like, then you know what? Why are you clapping him for Madison? Madison wasn't him. Then you can't clap it on for Madison.
Will, Don Paratici is still cooking from the jail? Haven't you heard that?
It's been signed.
Yeah. Can I say, by the way, guys, I'm going to say it, man, because no one else is saying it. I'm not convinced by the Madison signing. I've said on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube comments, I've said, look, it's a good signing. It's a very good signing, but I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not convinced by it. I'm not, and I'll tell you why. There's a few things that worry me. Number one, injuries. He's injury prone. Number two,
work ethic.
Yeah, dude, he doesn't track back. And the same shit people gave Son for last year, having to track back. Well, now, what's going to change with Madison? Because we haven't got a defensive mid that can do the job properly. How do you free Madison to attack when there's no players around him that can do the defensive recovery work? And the other thing with Madison, go back and watch a couple of games of Madison last year. I went and watched a few, not full games, highlights, like extended highlights, 30, 25 minutes. Do you know this guy goes missing in games, man? There are games where he goes missing. Look, I think when you look at his goal actions, assists, goals scored, creativity, there's no doubt he's a really good player. He's a really good player. But
James Allen from Canada says Conte did that to get fired. Big up for the super chat, man.
There's many ways you can get fired, Jamie. You don't have to get fired saying the truth.
That was Conte rage quit. That was rage quitting.
I think he's just an honest person, and sometimes people who like to rock the boat, they just get the sack. They're not appreciated. Sometimes people don't like honesty, right? Like that's the problem, right? Like, even Cube calls me all the time, right? I'm a dick, but I'm a dick because I'm just bluntly honest, and people don't like that. Right?
Yes, you're a dick.
It happens,
but not a big one.
Day
a
one,
small one.
Not a left.
Not a small
in a good way. In a good way, Will. No, not in a bad way. In a good way.
Wait, hold on. Can we talk about the fact that
my dick?
So
no,
everybody's saying that there was it was supposed to be a big week, as Mari was saying. Oh, big week, and then we got Solomon, and the guy's short stacks. I mean, he's shorter than Lucas Moura. Can we just? Wow, he is so short.
Solomon's got no end product. He's got no end product.
Whose dick is shorter than Lucas Moura's?
We're not talking about dicks anymore. Elias, get off the dicks, man.
Get off the dicks.
Cube, you can't say dick on stream with Elias there because we'll be on dicks for the next hour.
No, but I'm gonna say, I was like, I didn't realize. So I saw the interview with Solomon and everything, right? And I was just like, I saw him sitting down, and I was just like, oh, okay. I had no idea. And then he stands up. I see him walking around next to the other players. I was like, man, this guy is short. But you know, his top half and his limbs look like they should be on somebody with longer legs. I was like, wow.
I'll tell you what he's good
this
at.
guy's
He's
really
good.
short.
He's very good in 1v1 situations, though. In 1v1 situations, taking on a man, he actually brings something that no other player at Spurs, not many at Spurs actually can do. Yeah. He can beat a man. My worry is that final third. He's lacking. For a player of that position, what we need, he's lacking. He's not Kulusevski.
I don't have a problem.
No, I mean, he's 5'6", right? So I mean, he's about the same height as Brian Hill, but he's got about 15-20 pounds on Brian Hill.
I was gonna say he's a slightly more buff Brian Hill, isn't he?
Another thing I don't understand about fan base, and it's gonna be probably one of my last points. Is another thing too, right? I got into a debate where, okay, I'll concede that point, though I believe we didn't go hard for Bastoni. But then again, those guys are out of our level, right? The 60, 80, 70 out of our level. Granted. Okay. I believe that, right? So you got the guys who are the 50s, 40s, right? We got a discount on Madison because Leicester went down to the championship whatsoever. We sent Winks. Okay. So you got a guy that's tapped sober, 40, 50, right? Just below the level. Then you have Vanderven, who's like 25, 30, right? Then I'm looking at other clubs. I'm looking at Aston Villa, Paul Torres, and how much they got him. Now they're talking to, what's his name? Kedia from the German league. And I'm like, wait, what? And the price that they're trying to get it for. And I'm just like, okay. Now I'm confused of what level that we are. Because if Aston Villa, right, and I'm using them as an example, are able to talk to those who are 30, 40, even 20, but all we could do is sign a person on a free, Solomon. I'm like, what level are we? Are we just level cheap? Like 20?
We're the Eric Dyer level for 10 years a level.
Yeah, we're level cheap.
Dobby, right? Who would have been probably better than Solomon, but right, Levy likes a good deal. So I'm confused. I'm like, damn, what level are we? Like signing 5 to 10 million players? But then again, right? If I believe that, you got Man City who's talking to an MLS player who's doing good for Atlanta FC, Thiago Almada, for 17 mil, right? Because we're supposed to use analytics, right? You have this young kid for Atalanta, center back, Scaldini, right? For maybe 25 mil because he's 19, but has a high ceiling, real good first year at Atalanta, right? So it's, for me, it was frustrates me because it's all bullshit. Because even when you tell me the level that we are, we're not being masters or experts at it. If you guys understand what I'm saying, it's like,
well, but that's why I feel like when we're talking about selling Harry Kane, I'm like, fine, like, especially if he wants to leave, go sell him. But I mean, Levy's holding on to him like Golem, like my precious, like, you know. And if he finally sells him, okay, great. But what is he going to do with the money? Do we really believe that he's going to invest that money?
No.
Well, I mean, more likely than not, he's going to pocket most of it and then put, you know, install some strobe lights on the top of Tottenham Hotspur Stadium for the Jonas Brothers concert that's in the future. Like, that's what's really going to happen.
We have no identity.
Also,
right?
No hate to Jonas Brothers.
We have no identity, right? Because, like I said, people say, oh, well, the Brighton way. Brighton knows the type of players they're going to get, the price level, and they master it. Aston Villa, right now, it seems like they're going for the players who are worth at 30, which I thought we were at that level, but I guess not because we can't even sign Van de Ven, and it looks like that deal's going to collapse. So it's just like, okay, what is the philosophy of our transfer window? What is our philosophy? Oh, I have the answer. We have none. We have none. We don't have a philosophy. And I hear different fans say, yeah, we do. Like, no, we don't. Like, we don't. Because even if you told me, all right, we're going the cheap 20 and below route, okay, but you're not even recruiting the players who are available at that price. So it's just, it's all bullshit, to me.
It is bullshit. But we got a late entry into the show. I'm back, he's back, we're back. Everybody in the comments, show your love. Mike is in the house.
Greetings, my friend.
And in Monor Solomon style, he's got his camera pointing to the ceiling, so he looks like he's short. What's going on, man?
I am not that tall.
You don't have to be tall, but the way your camera's set up right now, it's like just your head and shoulders. There you go.
There we go. How's it going, y'all?
He's trying to hide the fact he's not wearing any pants. Let's go.
Dude, it is hot. Pants is the way.
What's going on, my man?
Hey, good to see you guys. I'm so glad everybody's talking about the lack of transfers so far. It's a dreadful window.
Well, we've got some signings, but none of the ones that we needed. Right.
But
Yeah,
do they
maybe
pay
Madison?
I was gonna say, I think the Madison.
Well, we needed a keeper. We needed a keeper because Hugo's leaving. So
Get Elmo.
that's what I'm saying. So you're like none of the ones we needed, but we needed a keeper because we were going to have a
but
starting
I'm
keeper.
not sure that Vasario is the one we needed. But
I came in during the Mari Warpath, and I was like, yeah, somebody finally mentioned Scalvini, and I was like, dude, yeah. And you know what? I was totally agreeing.
Oh, you would be awesome for like that. Would be, I would be like, okay, we're doing business, right? Under the radar, not 70 mil, 60 mil. Scaldini.
So, I think Scalvini is slated to go to Napoli to replace Kim. That's what word on the street is, and I don't think he's going to leave Italy.
Juventus is looking at him a couple of clubs, but he can get got for cheap.
You know what? The wild part about Spurs is that they don't even go for the free transfers. So there's like players like Evan Ndika who was on a free, and dude's going to Roma to play with Jose. I'm like, bro, really?
Roma of all that's what I'm saying.
and we were in for Ndika last year, apparently, according to the rumors. But
Didn't
I guess
Skriniar go
Roma's
to
a
PSG
more.
for free?
You mean in Dekia?
Yeah.
Careful! Don't mention the D word. You're gonna get
In the
Elias.
Oh wait, are we triggering the Elias? Are we triggering the Elias?
We don't want to do that.
Careful, he's gonna start talking about fleshlights or something. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, now I no longer work in church, by the way, so I can talk about flashlights.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
I can.
You can't.
Do
It's
you
not okay to
know
talk about
what?
flashlights on screen.
You know this whole rebuild, Spurs rebuild, right? It really, really winds me up. The whole
I thought you
conversation
were
winds
talking
me up.
about flashlights.
We'll
I
talk
really
about
thought
flashlights if
Sal
you
is going
want.
to talk about flashlights.
Yeah.
No
I used to have a
flashlights.
mag light. I used to have a mag light when I was young. They were like solid because it was cool to have a mag light when you were growing up. I don't know why.
What's that?
Everyone bought mag light. I had one as well.
Flashlight.
Stel's trying to bring it back to Spurs.
A torch. Sorry, that's what.
It's true. I had a mag light. I'm serious.
Keep
I used to have a
it
mag light.
PG.
How do you spell maglite? I don't even know what's that thing.
MAGLITE.
It's just a
It's just a
a
long
flashlight. It's just a normal
torch.
flashlight. It's nothing sexual, Elias. Don't worry about it.
Mag light dildos. Elias, mag light dildos.
I mean, I guess you could technically use one as a dildo, but that would be
Good
gross.
lord.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was
dear.
going to say.
Did
right?
you guys see Solomon's girlfriend? Yeah, she's so hot. Just saying.
Not as hot as Regular's girlfriend.
Yeah, I saw her. She's
She's pretty hot,
Yeah,
right?
regular-
Like, come
Yeah.
on. Those Those
Mate,
Israeli
mate,
girls,
you
man.
know,
It looks
you
like
know,
Gail Godot kind of look to her.
Safe search.
Cube, at the end of the season, when the players do their walk around the pitch and everyone says, you know, thanks for playing for Tottenham, all that shit. Last season, when I actually went to the games, do you know who has got the hottest like partner?
Reggie. Everybody
Reguilon
talks
has
about
a-
Reggie's girl.
No. There's an undercover one. There's an undercover one.
Talking about Højbjerg?
Tsar.
Lucas Moura.
I was gonna say Lucas.
Oh, yeah, you've seen his wife.
Lucas Moura, I'm telling you.
Bald
He's
head.
cute. I mean, they're all hot. Like
She's
they're
good
all
looking,
hot.
when you
she's
see them
not-
up close, right? I'm telling you, Lucas Moura, she moves. She moves in ways.
His wife is good looking.
The
but
others don't
she's-
quite
she's
move
not
that
at
way.
Regulon girlfriend level.
Can I
in
say
my
this?
opinion.
Can I say this because
She's got swag.
I
Moura's
saw-
partner's got swag.
I saw this on Twitter and I didn't get Danny K, but people have been saying all over YouTube.
Yeah, I
Maybe-
guess she's okay.
Maybe because I live in Florida, but people calm down. Danny K puts Margot Robbie is the most. She is the most finest woman on the planet. Like I said, she is the most finest woman on the planet. Then I hear people say on YouTube, I'm like, she's alright, and people are like, alright. I'm like, maybe because I live in Florida, but if she was here in Florida, it would just be another person because you go to Miami, you go to Orlando, everybody. I mean, there's a lot of pretty attractive people who are real, not like boob jobs or something like. There's a lot of attractive people. I'm like, unless England doesn't have a lot of attractive people, I'm like, Margot Robbie is okay. She is not like creme de la creme. I've seen better looking. Just want to throw it out there because it's all over Twitter and YouTube. Everybody's going crazy over Margot Robbie.
Dude, once you go to Sweden, you don't need to go anywhere else. Once you go to Sweden, you don't need to go anywhere else.
Yeah, you know, Decky's girl is pretty hot too.
Yeah, she is class
Mate.
too. Actually, I'm
Sweden.
surprised Emerson's girlfriend is kind of hot as well. She's quite hot.
I mean, I'm
Actually,
glad they left
in Japan,
in
you get
Florida.
those half Asian, half European mix.
Whose girlfriend?
The Japanese aren't that good looking, unfortunately.
That's Florida. Philippines.
That's why I said you get the
Mix.
hybrid. Get the hybrid.
Hybrid. In
Korean
Florida, you have a lot of
girls.
Filipinos. Filipinos here.
Korean
Gorgeous.
girls, Taiwanese girls.
Gorgeous here in
Um,
Florida.
I've got it in
50%
Asia.
electric, 50% diesel, or gas, whatever you call it.
Taiwan and Korea got the best looking girls in Asia.
Have you met like the Turkish girls, the Iranian girls? They are very hot too.
Okay.
Lebanese,
You just
Lebanese girls are the hottest thing.
We've all got.
By the way, this
Lebanese,
is Emerson's girlfriend. Emerson's girlfriend.
That's all. No, Emerson's girlfriend is not that hot. That's all photography right there. But if you actually you see like videos of her and stuff, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like in normal standards, of course, she's hot because all of their girlfriends
Emerson's
are hot.
standard, she's
But
quite hot.
in the hierarchy of like what do they call them, wags or whatever,
Wags.
wives and girlfriends of sports.
Is Hugo
people.
married? Is
Yeah,
Hugo
like
married?
she's not the hottest one.
I'm sure he is. Son's single. Son doesn't have a girlfriend. His parents won't let him.
Son's girlfriend is his mom. Like he's not allowed.
Son probably has like.
No, he could have a million girlfriends if he
hookers
wanted.
that are flown in undercover
Oh yeah,
to just help him out.
Flown in.
Pick one. Yeah, but his parents are strict. But he could probably pick one when he's done with his career.
Well, Hugo's girlfriend looks more like an auntie.
She is your auntie. I
Dude,
think.
she's older. Leave her
she looks like
alone,
an
man. Hugo is not that young anymore, and so his woman is not that. Their kid is like
What I
older
lied.
too.
He's like, bro.
He has like a teenager.
what's his model year, man.
He has Hugo's wife is like they got a teenager or something.
That's kind of how it works being 40.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like,
Who's the most famous wag? Who's the most famous wag?
Victoria
Kane's
Beckham.
wife?
Formerly,
Victoria.
probably formerly
Yeah.
Shakira.
Shakira
Yeah.
before they split.
Shakira.
Rebecca
Shakira's
Vardy.
Shakira
Shakira.
was dating that guy, PK.
NBA
She
star.
She was with PK.
Yeah, PK's an idiot, man. Shakira's-
She left PK and she went to Jimmy Butler, and she said some things that was just kind of
I thought she was saying Lewis Hamilton. She's been spotted with him.
No, she's officially with Jimmy Butler of the Miami Heat. And so it's
Dude,
all
Lewis Hamilton's weird, man. He's a weird guy, man.
Yeah. Even Kane's wife looks like an auntie.
I've met Lewis Hamilton. He's weird, really weird guy.
You met Lewis Hamilton? Oh, I'm jealous.
Yeah. No, he's weird, Cubed. He's weird, dude. Like, he sits in the corner. He's just very.
Yeah, he's
odd.
shy. He's an introvert.
No, he's not. He's weird. He's weird. He's weird. He's not. I'm not. Listen, I don't know him like that. I never met him proper. Like sat there for a day and spent a day with him. But he is weird. He's odd.
Everybody.
There's a reason Scherzinger and him didn't get on in the end. There's a reason.
Rio Ferdinand's wife is pretty hot.
How do you not settle with Scherzinger? It makes no sense.
She was on Tawi. She was on Tawi. Rio Ferdinand's wife.
Shakira's the wags like goat. Like she is the ultimate wag.
Yeah, her and Victoria Beckham, Posh Spice. Yep, it will be up there.
Rio Ferdinand's wife.
Shakira even more than Posh because Shakira is
that's
like independently, like you know what I mean. Like she's not like was successful and then retired. She's like continuously successful.
Did you see the girl PK chose over her? I'm like, that's a downgrade because my girlfriend showed me. It's like, how did she choose her over Shakira? I was like, I don't know. I'm like, hey,
Shakira for me is overrated. She's average looking.
Yeah, she's overrated. I agree.
What's wrong with you lot? Shakira's hot.
I know Shakira is so hot.
I'm more of a Miley Cyrus
Overrated.
fan.
Miley Cyrus.
I know.
Miley Cyrus.
Shakira is hot and she's successful and everything.
Dude.
That is.
Don't lie. You gotta give your head a wobble.
She had me at the party.
Hey, beauty's in the eye, I guess.
God bless.
Miley Cyrus is beautiful, guys. Seriously.
No.
Oh, lies! You really make the saying there. Really
You may have that feeling because you've never been to the United States, but there's like a girl that looks like Miley Cyrus. You could just throw a rock down any country road and you hit about 10 of them. Right.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, maybe she was my childhood crush, so maybe that's why. Yeah, I grew up watching.
You watch too much
Montana.
Disney Channel. That's probably.
Yep, I do.
I want to bring back to the Madison transfer and like the.
We were talking about girls and you want to talk about medicine. Come on.
Let him go back to the normal talk.
I think Madison. I want to say Madison is the Richarlison of this window, where it's meant to like distract and like be the big signing, and that's supposed to be all we're getting.
Let me check Madison's wife.
So hold on, let me just say something
he's
to
a lot better than
Golden
Richarlison.
Hammer. Let me just say something.
I'm meaning of the importance of the signing. I think Levy saw it as a club signing and also as an important signing for the English quota and all that. And it's like that's supposed to blanket over everything else. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, right. Yeah, makes sense.
Hold on, let me just say something to Golden Hammer that's still taking shots at Spurs. The thing with it is like, you're right. Spurs is not on the rise right now, and that's why we are talking about Wags. That being said, what are you doing here? Why don't you go and take down all your Declan Rice stuff? Because you have a lot to take down. So I don't know why you're coming here to listen to us talk about that when your best player just left.
C-Cube is back. She is back.
I think a very important thing to also bring up too is that there's 100.
No, they don't have any
watching
channels.
And only 76 likes. Like it, people. It's free. Just do it.
It's only 76. We've had 109. We've had over 1,000 views on the stream already. So
just hit the like, guys. It's free. I promise it's free. You ain't gotta pay.
You gotta be put up some pictures of Solomon's girlfriend
all around here. There's all these beautiful people. You should just like the stream for us. Look at us. We're fabulous.
Do you know something, right? Do you ever? Yeah. I do this all the time, right? When we go live, I have this this banner that goes across the bottom saying, please subscribe, please like. And then every kind of half an hour, I just say to people, guys, hit the like button, please. Just take 10 seconds out, like. Do you know what? I'm not going to lie to you. I'm actually getting to the point now where I'm sick to death of saying, please like, please subscribe.
I always
Please
say
hit
that.
subscribe.
We got to, though. It's part of the deal. It's part of the game.
Yeah, but you know what?
You don't want to coax people.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay,
I mean,
at
there's
least
people
you're
that
not
come
like-
in and out. Like, I think the peak show 136, which is great numbers, by the way, for a show at this time of day. But to be honest with you,
And the thing is, it's
Yeah,
everybody else who does streams at this time of the day only gets about 15 or 16 watchers. So
Yeah, 137. I was looking. 137. That's pretty good.
Yep.
Who goes
I mean-
live at 4 in the morning UK and attracts West Ham fans? I mean, the power we have.
just this guy.
Yeah, like what are you
That's the
doing
power.
over
West
there?
Ham, Arsenal. Who else we
Wet
got?
spammer. You're
We
welcome
used to
here.
get that
Alfred.
Chelsea guy. Do you remember that crazy Chelsea guy, Madula?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember Madula?
Yeah.
He was crazy, man.
We had him. We also had what was his name from Chelsea? He's a YouTuber, Indian guy, lives in London. What's his name?
Oh, the
I did-
TV guy, the sports TV thing.
Nishan or something like that.
Yeah. Good
I
guy.
don't know.
It's cool to. And then Minerals is still in Rwanda.
Yo,
So
I
it was-
was always wondering where Minerals was. That dude looks like he's hiding in a cave. I ain't gonna lie. And he never has.
No, I
lights.
think his
like,
dad
I'm
is,
right.
is wealthy, dude. Like if you see
That's
his
me.
house in Rwanda, dude, like it's
Oh, I have no doubt that he's.
It's
Dude,
up
I have no doubt that he's doing fine. I was like, bro, please just turn on the lights once.
yeah.
I don't
But
think
he's
he's
a
in the
prince.
cave. He's in the woods.
Yeah, he's in his-
He's in the
The
woods,
cave.
yeah.
The cave is my domain. I am the caveman.
that's right.
Well, the girl from the back cave might have something to debate you
Yeah.
with there. I don't know.
Which one?
Yeah, listen, dude. I'm gonna.
Which one?
agree.
How many people
The
here
only
have got
one?
that face? Like,
Cubes, guys. Come on. 2 and 2
Sorry,
together.
sorry.
I
I
don't.
was looking at ghosts.
I don't think that Madison is going to
Watch
be
porn on your own time,
all that
Elias.
influential. In the
No,
world.
I'm not watching porn. I'm just looking at Madison's. I'm just looking at Madison's girlfriend here. That's all.
Elias is on OnlyFans whilst on Will Show.
No, I'm on Instagram. I'm on Instagram. Not on OnlyFans. It's Instagram.
Malaysian
Jesus.
OnlyFans.
He's like, no, I'm not on OnlyFans. That's for later tonight.
He's using
Yeah, that's what
Eugene's
later.
account.
Jeez Louise.
By the way, Eugene hasn't popped up today. He's on his
No,
sabbatical.
we're
and
about.
yesterday, so.
Do you know what? We've been doing this about 3 hours. I think it's time to shut this. puppy
You came
down.
after 1 month and only 3 hours. Will come on, man.
Yeah, I say, hey, man, new rules. I ain't doing
When-
6-hour
when did you
streams,
say
man.
that?
I ain't doing 6-hour streams no more, dude. My back is starting to hurt.
I hope
You're getting
Panama
old.
win against Mexico tomorrow.
I do too.
You're getting old.
Well,
I wish
Panama-
USA could
I'm
have
not
qualified. for
upset
this.
really that the U.S. went out because I mean that was our,
I
you
know.
know,
Come on.
way down the road.
All right, we're taking it. We're taking it all in 2026. Come on, baby. USA all the way.
No, like even our we didn't even have like Brendan Aaronson's, right? Like it was
No, it's a C team. Yeah.
C team for sure. And the fact that we, could beat or force a full strength Panama team to go to penalties just shows how.
That's decent.
I have to admit,
Well, then-
I've been tracking and paying attention more to the USMNT transfers than I have been on the Spurs transfers, because Spurs, we sign players, not going to make much of a difference. But you know what? I care. I'm invested in wherever it is that Adams ends up going. I'm invested.
I just want to say I'm glad that Captain America has left the scum and gone to AC Milan, a way bigger and better club. I've always been your number
As
one
long
fan.
as he
I've never said
plays.
anything bad about you. I swear.
As
Never.
long as he plays.
We got Captain America right here.
Golden Hammer. Go
There he
to
is.
our second channel, which is called Soccer Sessions. That will be a channel where we'll have shows from rivals
My goodness,
fans.
what
So
happened?
if you could look on the
The two
screen,
hosts just left us, and
This is our
am I
show
the
now,
cha-
guys.
Oh, we got Mari there.
I'm here. Golden Hammer. If you go to our second channel, Soccer Streams, I think Will put it up earlier. We'll have shows we will have shows for rivals. Snow, can you put the link up for Golden Hammer so he could join soccer streams sessions?
Don't say Captain America on your keyboard, otherwise he'll kick you out of the stream.
Yeah. So yeah, Golden Hammer. Find us there. We're gonna have shows for rivals.
Did I kick Michael out of the stream too by accident?
You might have. You kicked like 3 people off the stream.
Did I?
I thought you guys just dipped. I was like, all right, well, this is our show now. We're just gonna take over.
Stupid Captain America.
Hey, I just want to say, Stel, big up to you, man. I know the hour difference is fucking huge, so and you're always putting out good content out there too, man.
The hour difference that I have.
I don't know if it's big up or I'm just fucking stupid.
No, you're good, man. Coach Stel is a legend.
Granola, I think you're a West Ham fan too. Yeah, thanks, just go to the link and subscribe because we're going to have some rival shows on that channel too, so you can check us out on those.
By the way, anybody doing FPL League?
West Ham supporters here. That's
why are they here? They've got nothing better to do. They don't have their own fan channels.
We don't mind them, but it's just
is there an American West Ham fan channel?
It's like two.
Like I try to tune into them because like I want to see what other clubs fan channels are saying about their own clubs because it's a nice perspective to have. But I've never found a West Ham channel.
Their perspective.
Yeah,
that's not an insult. That's not an insult.
There's the old guy. The big guy, bald head. You see him on AFTV sometimes. He does the main West Ham channel.
AFTV. But I mean, like, is there any American Hammers channels? I don't know.
I doubt it.
No idea.
You'll have a lot.
I doubt it too. Yeah.
I don't hate West Ham, but like I do hate them at the same time. Like they're just like they're like an annoying little brother.
Yeah, West Ham's like
Come on, Golden. Just subscribe.
The guy on the show that talks about OnlyFans and dildos and stuff like that all the time. That's what they're like.
West Ham and Spurs fans on a match day. There's okay. So this is the way it works.
They're a cup
final. When we play Arsenal, it's the biggest derby, hands down. Right? We hate the club. We hate their club. They hate our club.
We hate Arsenal.
When we play Chelsea, we don't hate their club. We hate their fans as human beings.
Oh, I hate Chelsea's fans.
It's a personal human. With West Ham, I don't know what it is, but when we play West Ham, it's punch ups and fights in the streets. It's that is a battle of the ultras. It's their war. That's how it works. When West Ham come to Spurs, you see on the high road, it's fucking ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous.
West Ham fans are those guys with a little weenie. They try to say that they got the big one, but actually they have a micro penis. Yeah, that
they can.
Yeah, but West Ham's traditional their ultras called ICF were renowned. They were renowned, and it's still there, but it's not like it used to be. I mean, I was too young to know about that stuff. It's just what I get told and what people talk about.
I am still salty about
Eugene,
that.
always when we're about to wrap up.
Eugene.
Yeah, we gotta keep up the tradition.
Sorry, Granola. You can say Spurs punch ups and laugh, dude. You have no idea. You have no idea what Tottenham is.
West Ham ever won the league? No
idea. Yeah, Nicky Hawkins. That's it. Well done, Nicky Hawkins. He does the West Ham TV. He comes across like a good bloke. He seems quite humble.
I hear traffic.
Yeah.
Who does Granola support?
He's not in his car today. You off today, Eugene?
It's West Ham. I think Granola seems like
what Elias said is I've taken a sabbatical from work, so I'm not. You won't see me in my car for a long time.
This is the season when the guys in Malaysia change jobs. Yeah.
No,
don't they do that? Well, maybe that's China, but normally in China they do it over Chinese New Year.
No, you don't do it. You don't take a job over Chinese New Year. Just Chinese New Year when you get your bonuses.
Then you
in our industry, that's when they change because like they get that vacation for like a month. Like Chinese New Year is like a month long, right? Like you don't have so everybody leaves and goes home to their hometown. Then they all talk about what factories they work at, and then they switch and then when they come back, that everybody's working at different factories.
Or maybe after getting bonuses, that's what happens. I know. Maybe in China.
United. I was a Man United fan. Oh my god. I should have thought so.
Eugene, your thoughts? Because before we end this puppy,
thoughts on what? Wags, Kane.
Kane.
Wags.
What's Wags?
The girls.
The wives of the
No.
players. Thoughts
on Kane.
Granola. Nobody messes with Millwall. Millwall's the worst in the country.
Yeah.
Millwall's the worst in the country. That's why I said West Ham, Spurs, not Millwall. You brought Millwall into the conversation, not me. Sorry.
Millwall's despicable.
My thoughts on Kane, tell the truth, I don't care if he stays or if he goes. If he goes faster, the better. If he stays, it should be for. I don't care anymore about Spurs, what they do their businesses. It's all a shit show in the end, right? If you want to sell Kane now. But like what a lot of Spurs fans say, but not for 60 million pounds, right? Kane is worth at least 90, maybe 80 million pounds. Then that would be a fair price. 100, 120, that would be a good price, right? For Ange, I know you all know my stance. I'm still wait and see, right? I ain't gonna be the happy clapper. Yee, we got Ange. Nah, it's all bullshit, right?
Can you do that again, Eugene? How happy clappers do it?
It's all bullshit, right? And if we lose the first 6 games, let's see the whole fucking fan base go and melt down. The flip flops will come out, right? We are a fan base made of flip flops, guys, right? I've seen so many flip flops, huh? Last season when we were doing shit, leave you out. Now Ange comes in, leave you in, right? Big suckers.
I got some flip flops on the other side of my desk.
yeah.
I can't reach them.
I got a lot of flip flops in front of my doorstep, right? I live in Asia.
In front of my doorstep as well.
Yeah, we use flip flops.
The ones that are under my desk are brand new. They've never been worn. That's why they're in the house. Otherwise, mine would be outside too.
You know the biggest flip flop in town is at Spurs between the lines.
Yeah, but whatever it is.
Spurs between the lines. What's that?
No idea.
But more like Spurs between.
He just don't ask. He's just giving. He's trying to.
You know who's Spurs knows who's Spurs between the lines.
He's trying to. And now we got Elias, right? He's trying to mutt everybody all the time for whatever reason.
Is that Dermot's channel?
No, it's Mia's. Well, similar.
I don't watch it. I don't watch it.
Nobody does. That's the point. I don't understand why he even gives 2 craps about it.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Yeah, nobody does.
Oh yeah, and not to forget, right? We haven't got our centre backs yet, guys.
Yes.
Bloody hell, and we've gone off on tour. What the hell?
Yeah.
Right. And
exactly right.
I don't know, the new guy next in the middle of Will, I don't know what's his name. He says correct, right?
Caveman.
Sorry?
Caveman.
No, Caveman. No, below
Caveman. His name is Caveman, Eugene. His name is Caveman.
Yeah, not cubed. Caveman.
Yeah, Caveman, right? And Caveman's correct, right? Madison is the Richarlison smoke and mirror signing, right? Last season we spent 60 million Richarlison because we're in Champions League. Woo! Right? This season we're not in Europe and we're signing Richarlison 40 million. Woo! Right? And we can't get it. My God.
Madison's a better player than Richie.
Yeah, way
better.
No,
I'm not saying
way better than Richie.
That's a little disrespectful to Madison.
He asked some smoke and mirrors thing, right? And my God, Aston Villa signs Pau Torres for 34 fucking million pounds. And we can't get that Sober in for 40. We can't get VDV in for what? 30 million euros? What the fuck is that? Shit.
Tell us how you feel, Eugene.
Shit.
No, that's how Spurs is. And guys, don't worry. We're doing our business early again, right? This season, right? That's what happened last season with Conte. We did our business early. We're so happy, right? Yeah.
And I'll say something, Eugene. We need to be realistic, and if
That's
You
my
need to be realistic. You know, right? When you're realistic, you can't get rid of all these players and get all the new ones in one window. It will take few years at least.
Do you know what, man? I'm gonna lose my shit.
Do it.
Yeah, do it, Sal. I know what you're gonna talk about. Do it.
Let me. I had to go and find this earlier on because someone was trying to debate me on something, and I just had to shut them up. This is what Daniel Levy said at the end of last season. This is what he said. This was after the Coys Daniel because he realized the Coys Daniel was so scripted, everyone mudded him for it. But he said, "We shall spend the period ahead of next season working relentlessly to position our club for on-pitch success and football you will love to come and watch. Every element, I repeat, every element of the club's operations is geared toward delivering that. Delivering on-pitch success and football you'll love to come and watch. I wish all of you and your families good health this summer. Yours, Daniel." Right. Where has he...
You really missed out not saying Coys Daniel, but...
Yeah, he should have put it again. But where has he relentlessly positioned us for on-pitch success? Football we're going to love to watch with Long Gap maybe coming back, Sanchez, Dyer, Davies, Sessegnon, Chicken Royale still here.
He's not talking to us.
Defensive midfielder.
Still, he's not talking to us. He's talking to the flip-flops, right? On-pitch success. Define that, right? The football you love to watch. Define that, right? Right? Come on.
And can I say, when we built the stadium, Eugene, as well, he said, the stadium will be a game changer, providing us with resources to compete. No, that's it. Providing us with resources to compete with the best.
Yeah.
And to deliver on-field success. That hasn't happened.
I give you that definition, right?
That hasn't happened.
A game changer, right? What game is he trying to change, right?
Well, he said for on-field success. He said for
wait. On-field success, right? Beyonce concert is on the field.
Yes.
Right?
Technically.
All the concerts are on the field. Right? So he doesn't define words, bro. He doesn't say football success. Have you ever said?
Listen,
we are gonna every penny we make. Remember the interview. Every penny we make goes back into the team. I've been arguing that. What team? Your property investment team, right? Your entertainment department team, right? Your F1 team, your go-karting team. What
Chill
team?
YouTubers teams.
Do you know what? I'm telling you now, right? I'm telling you now. I've got a really bad feeling next season Arsenal's going to win the league. I think they're going to win it.
No.
Do you know? Because
I'll
tell you what.
Those words. Don't even utter those words.
Are you Sel? I'm going to ask you something. Are you seduced by the deal that?
I'll tell all the Spurs fans the truth, right? I wanted Arsenal to win the league last season. To tell the truth, I wanted Arsenal to win the league. So for you guys, for Spurs fans to understand, right, what piece of shit we are, and to tell the truth, I wanted Arsenal to win the league is because I'm not sure you know Stephen Fitley, the boy who passed away, who a very close friend of mine on YouTube, right? I wanted them to win the league for him. You get what I'm saying? But the sad part is you got Arteta, and the best part is Stephen hates Arteta.
Do you know what worries me about Arsenal? They're doing exactly what Spurs should have done when we finished second.
I know.
They've gone and spent big money over the odds, yes, for Declan Rice. Kai Havertz, I don't understand why they've done that, but okay, let's see. But they've spent
like a nobody defender too.
And they get Julian
back. And they've got a centre back as cover. So if Saliba gets injured, they've got that sorted.
And they got Julian Timber.
And I don't think they're finished. I think they're going to go and buy a striker as well, some kind of goal scorer, right? And what they've done is they've improved on what they already had. And you see Man City.
Did they, though?
I think it's very, very difficult.
I think Partey's a better midfielder.
Oh yeah,
than Rice.
and Man City is going through a transition.
Well, he's still there. Partey's still there at the moment. And I think it's very difficult for Man City to motivate themselves again the way they did to win that treble. I think there's going to be a little drop off of Man City. They've lost Gundogan as well, who I think is a top player for them. I just think this season Arsenal will.
Yeah, but they're going to get Vardiol. They're about to get Vardiol.
Yeah, Guardiola.
He's a defender though.
I know, but they he can pass that ball forward.
That's what I can say.
Gundogan won them the FA Cup. Gundogan won them the FA Cup. They need midfielders. Silva. They're going to lose Silva.
Yeah.
Mahrez, how old is Mahrez now?
City will be all right.
Down by Saudi leagues.
They signed from Chelsea. Kovacic. They signed.
City will be all right. I think Arsenal, though. I'm maybe this may be like not rational, but I think that Arsenal is going to be found out next season hardcore. I think the only reason why they started showing cracks in October of last year, and the only thing that kept them out of is Xhaka had
no red cards.
Well, no, Xhaka had like one of the best seasons he's ever had in an Arsenal shirt.
They had a lot of last minute winners as well. Arsenal.
Yeah.
Last minute equalizers.
And I think they're going to be found out hardcore next season.
They gotta play Europe.
If they sign
and they're playing Europe.
But a striker like Vlahovic, right? That would be a totally different ballgame for us.
If Arsenal sign a top striker, they're winning the league. I'm telling you. If they sign
I'm suddenly reminded, though. I'm suddenly reminded that I did not see a certain somebody pay his forfeit of a tattoo.
Yeah,
yes,
I haven't had the opportunity to go yet.
Yeah.
So we'll do that.
Because I was, you know what? I felt like there was a little deja vu.
Been busy. I've been out of town.
You're putting a stake in the ground, being like they're gonna get found out, just like last season. And then it started to deja vu, and then I was like, wait a minute, I'm reminded by something. Somebody has a bet to forfeit.
I've been out of town, so.
What tattoo was he supposed to get?
Tottenham on tour.
He was supposed to let Tottenham on tour tattoo. Yeah.
You want me to write it on my arm in Sharpie?
No, that's not the same, and you know it isn't.
We'll go and get a Tottenham.
Just do a video coming out saying you've got mental health issues and explain your trauma, and then say this is why I'm not getting the tattoo. You know, I'm coming back as a different YouTuber.
Yeah, Tottenham on tour. They're kind of advocates of mental health lately. So
or I'm converting to Judaism and I can't get tattoos anymore.
Bang.
Like,
there you go. That's all you gotta do.
If you're Jude, that's not true. Brian's
he's Jewish,
Yeah, he's
but
got a
he's not a
tattoo.
practicing Jew. If you're Orthodox Jew, you can't have tattoos.
Oh yes, if you follow the Levitical law, yeah, you can't.
If Liverpool gets Lavia, Liverpool will be challenging City for the title. I already have them challenging City for the title. If they get Lavia,
I don't see Liverpool challenging City for the title. I don't know why.
I'd rather see West Ham win a title over Arsenal in my life.
I'll tell you what. If Chelsea get a proper striker, I think Poch is going to do magic, man.
I thought
They already have Nkunku. I think Nkunku is gonna keep that up.
Right?
Yeah, they got Nkunku.
Yeah,
Nkunku is a class signing right there.
Right? Doesn't move, right? And doesn't sign a contract extension, right? And if Chelsea is in Champions League or is fighting for something next season, Kane is going to Chelsea. I've been saying this from day one when Poch was more or less being a
dude. It makes me laugh. People think Postecoglou is going to go toe to toe with all these clubs next year. And we're going to be brought out. I mean,
it doesn't matter if
Nganga, Davis.
It does not matter if we go toe to toe. The only thing that matters is that we play really entertaining football, and that football is going to be beautifully entertaining with Eric Dyer and Sanchez and Emerson. Can you imagine all the entertaining football, that attacking, pressing, entertaining football that we're going to play next season with Dyer, Sanchez, and Emerson? Oh my God, I'm looking forward to it. Aren't you guys buzzed? I'm so buzzed.
And all our players will be on the other side of the attacking side, and no one is defending, and we're going to lose 6-0 every game. Yay!
People say, when people say, I just want to see good football. Just go fucking watch Brighton then. Just watch Brighton. Watch City.
Sunday came from the J League to Arsenal. Though it's a different Premier League, but they said the same about Wenger when he came to Arsenal from the
I just come
If
back.
we go in this coming season, if we go into the season with Dyer, Sanchez, you know, in the back, then
Sessegnon,
what's going to happen?
Tanganga,
You know,
Rodon.
Davies, whatever, right? Tanganga.
Yeah.
If we go in there and we play Postecoglou football, attacking, yay, pressing football, we're going to get cut open the way that Man United did. That's what we're going to be like. Because last season, remember, Man United against Brentford, Man United against Liverpool, we're going to get cut open.
7 up.
Because you know, Postecoglou said, I am never changing my tactics. I'm not going to ever change them. I play attacking football, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
You know who else doesn't change his tactics? Ten Hag doesn't change his tactics. He can be 5 down and he's still telling them to attack. So get ready, guys, because we're gonna get beat 7-0.
I'm just waiting here, right, for Ange, right, to get the Spurs realism kicked into him. And let's see what happens. He could be the first manager to actually walk out on Spurs, right? We were actually waiting for Conte to walk out on Spurs, but let's say, you know, Big Ange will want what he wants, right?
Do you know? Eugene, do you know what cracks me up? I'll never forget it. When Pep Guardiola came to Man City, after his first season, they just about got fourth. Got fourth. Even Everton were beating them 4-0. I'll never forget that Everton game. We smashed them. You know, and then all the media pundits, all the fans, you can't bring that tiki-taka here. This is the Premier League. It's a different league. And if you go look at that season, Man City had no problem scoring. They had no problem actually building the play. They lacked a bit in the finishing. That's a bit of an exaggeration what I said. And what did he go and do in that summer? What did Pep Guardiola do that summer? He went and spent £250 million on a defense. And as soon as he fixed that to play the way he wanted, he fucking broke the record for the most points ever won in the Premier League.
That's when he spent 50 million on Kyle Walker, right?
We haven't spent one penny. We haven't spent a penny on the defense yet.
In how many years, Del? 8 years? We have not changed our defense? No. Yeah, we have not changed our defense for 8 years.
Did you all see our defenders getting rinsed in the FIFA trailer? That says it all.
It's FC 24 now. It's not FIFA anymore.
Featuring in the FIFA trailer. Yay! We were featuring. We were featuring more getting rinsed.
You're doing watch along on Tuesday, right?
What's that?
No.
Yeah, watch along. Yeah, Tuesday. Yeah.
Speaking of watch along on Tuesday, that is a good segue into us ending this son of a bitch. And
wow, that's a really aggressive way to end things.
Going around and saying
every preseason game.
It's like 5:30 in the morning, I think, for me. 4 or 5:30 in the morning for me.
It's 5. What time does the game start? 6 p.m. Oh, sorry,
6 a.m.
11 a.m. UK time.
Okay, that's 6 p.m. Yeah, because we're the same time with Perth. Malaysia and
11. So that's 6 a.m. for me then, I guess.
Yeah, that's
playing West Ham United. We're playing the Hammers.
I may or may not be there on Tuesday. We'll see how things go.
I'll be there still. I'll be there. Don't worry.
I need a clock. Can someone bring a clock? I need a clock for the match.
Yeah.
Someone help me. Learn how to do it, man.
Will there be a
Have you set up the OBS for the clock yet?
Well, will there be a post game?
I told him you can't.
You can just download it. It's kind of easy.
Well, will there be a post game on Tuesday?
Yeah, Tuesday night we'll be doing a THFCRants show about it.
Okay, I'll join that.
That'll be Wednesday morning for us, right?
Yeah, I got my church family day, but I'll join somehow.
Oh, don't worry, I'll be free. I'll be around. Yeah.
I'll be there.
I'm free nowadays. Yeah.
I think we'll be all right.
Be there? I'll be there still.
I'll be there.
If I'm awake, I will be there. If I end up staying up late, like if my sleep schedule is jacked up and I'm awake at 6 a.m., I will definitely be there.
The show starts at 10:30 in the morning UK. Kickoff's at 11. The match finishes round about 1 p.m. UK time, and then we're going to do a 1 hour and a half post-match show straight into it. It's just going to be straight 4 hours. and then
I'll
we'll
be
be
there.
doing
Don't
something
worry.
in the evening, and that's it. That's us.
Yeah. And then
Let's
good morning.
Our defenders do loads of dumb shit. I want to see our defenders do loads of dumb shit. Please, please do dumb
And we've
shit.
got Good Morning Tottenham away too. Check Iggy out every morning. JP's got this Good Evening Tottenham away when he's available to do it. I'll be starting a new show. I don't know what I'm gonna call it yet, but
Mudding the wrong.
Is that the one we're gonna expose all the wrong ones?
It's not necessarily wrong, and so that'll be a part of it. Like when I do, like, so for example, if you see somebody say something dumb or ridiculous on YouTube that you think I'll disagree with, you can send me the link or the clip. You don't have to send me the whole thing. Just clip it on YouTube. Send me the short 10-second clip, and I'll watch back. The
I'll
applicable
send
parts.
you loads. I got a lot.
And I will react to them. So I don't know if it's going to be like,
Why don't you call the show?
reacts.
Right? Why don't you call the show? Right. So if someone says something you think, hold on, that's just like stupid. You want to make sense of the situation. You want to you want to bring sense to it. So why don't you call it Sense or Dense?
Censored is it a game show?
I like
Sense or Dense.
That's catchy. That's catchy.
Will, do you need a helper for that show or an assistant?
No, it's not gonna be a live show. It's gonna be
a magic show.
A recorded
No.
video.
I mean, not for live stuff, for collecting all the stuff around the YouTube.
Yeah, that's why I've told everybody, if you just get something, just at me at Twitter on it, or send me the link in Twitter, or if if you're in a WhatsApp group or whatever that I'm in, send it to me on WhatsApp, and then I'll add it to my queue. I've got Simon Jordan right now, and then the some Ange videos and stuff like that I'm working on right now. So it'll be. It's not going to be just Muppets, but Muppets are going to be a part of that particular thing. So
I'll promote that show all over.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun. It'll be a good one too, because for me, like. It's like we can't have like all 5 of us just talking for 10 minutes, right? Like we got to have a little bit of diverse, a little bit of more different styles of content. And so since I have the ability with my gear here to PMP and drop all that stuff, I figure I can do it. So
yeah, good. I like the idea. And by the way, for all those,
please provide a timer. Could someone just please provide a timer for the watch along? I beg you.
Yeah, we'll better make it a timer.
Like I've done, just add, just share screen of FootMob. That's the easiest way to do it. The only problem is I don't know if FootMob will be doing the preseason games. The postseason or the regular season games, you can just throw a FootMob in as a window. I can design you a layout.
I need to sync it. I need to sync it with Spurs play.
Yeah, that's the problem. FootMob's going to be like.
Will, is there any way I can zoom in on the clock on the score on Spurs play and have it?
With OBS, absolutely. Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah.
Can I do it without OBS? Can I just do it through StreamYard? What if I just zoom in? Maybe, like if I was to do this,
if you shared a window or something and zoomed in really, really, really close on that area. But the problem is I don't know if it'll let you select where on the screen it shows.
OBS, like a default window
you just have to scroll all over the screen, and you'll see no faces.
Yeah, but with OBS, you can trim and cut it just to get the clock. That's what I do when I do watch longs, and then you don't have to worry about updating the score or doing all that stuff. So,
how do I download OBS? Is it free? Do I pay for it?
Just download. Just download. I'll send you the link. I'll send you the link. OBS. You on Mac or Windows?
Mac.
Are you on Mac or Windows? Mac can also. I use it on Mac as well.
Let me just go to OBS software.
I will have to say this. All these people who say United and Arsenal are more rivals than Spurs and Arsenal. I guess you guys don't know the history of why these two clubs hate each other.
What are you talking about? Arsenal doesn't care about West Ham.
He does know. This granola guy is he's just slagging off Spurs. That's the only reason why he says that.
Oh, United,
but,
with United?
He's just slagging off Spurs.
Possible.
But
Arsenal
granola,
is a pretty big rivalry.
I wasn't shading United. I was just speaking facts. You guys bent over and took it in the ass 7 times from Liverpool. Facts. So I wasn't shading United.
Arsenal fans don't do this for United.
When we got Tottenham away.
right? They don't.
Yeah.
They don't do that for you.
But based on history, the rivalry, right? Of course, United and Arsenal have bigger rivalry, right? Because to tell the truth, right? Spurs has got no rivalry, bro.
Tottenham away.
We win nothing. Who are we rivals to?
When we got Tottenham away.
Daniel Levy
is our rival, right? Look at that.
To be fair, Man United fans, there's an internal pain going on within the fan base because Man City have just taken over the city. Look, Manchester is blue. End of. It's done. And it's just where do you go? They can't argue with their rivals because their rivals like dick all over them. So they go and find something else, isn't it? And that's what we are. They've come to us because they can't win their own city. And it is what it is.
When we go.
My God,
Man United won the Carabao Cup.
Fall down to our level to be our rivals.
Man City did the treble. Champions League, Premier League, FA Cup.
Again. From Amsterdam to the King Power. We've done it again.
Trust you to say that still.
Yeah, but guys, okay, let me plug my channel, right? Since I'm going to take a sabbatical for the next 3 months, right, guys? I'm trying to push up my YouTube subscribers to 1,000. I'm now at about 429 or something like that, right? I've been doing this for 2 years. So I'll be putting out more content. I'll be jumping on the more shows. I'll be a bit more nicer to other people along the way.
Really?
Yeah, maybe. Let's see. I'll still have to be true to myself, right? If I can't stand the person, I won't be on the stream with them. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, everybody go subscribe to Spurswasion TV. Somebody, if we got a mod in the chat that wants to throw the link in there, that'd be great.
Where's Gogama these days? I've been missing her.
Gogama is kind of on vacation. I think she's back for a little bit now, but
I haven't seen Gogama in a long time. I need to message her too. Yeah, she's okay, right?
She's busy.
She's doing good.
I don't know. She's got I won't talk personal life. Yeah,
she was in Japan, I think, a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, she's a lot on holiday. She's traveling a lot, working a lot. Yeah, but no, yeah, and maybe it's off season, so she's not too focused. Yeah, maybe I'll message her. Right, maybe she'll join us for the watch along on Tuesday. Yeah, I'll get her join us for watch along on Tuesday.
Can we end the stream so Will can show me how to use OBS because I've just downloaded it and I need to show me.
All right, guys.
Stream and subscribe, guys.
Can I plug my channel?
Like, subscribe.
Oh, yeah,
right.
let Elias plug his channel as well.
Yeah, so you all can find me at Step Up Spurs. By the way, I don't know why all the other channels get a lot of trolls. I want to get trolls on my channel, and no trolls come and bug me for some reason.
You're the rightful leader.
You are the troll.
And there is strength in you.
Yeah, so that's why I want to have some fun with one of my owns. Yeah, so I don't get that. So if any trolls here, you all want to have some good time, come join me at Step Up Spurs. There's one troll going on around. People think that's me, the Donna Cullen one. That's not me. But that lady also doesn't come to my channel. Yeah, so I want to invite all of them to my site. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, forget to tell you, Donna Cullen is actually Stelios.
You're the rightful leader, and there is strength in you. I see it.
I was doubting it as well.
Donna Cullen.
He's not even doubting it. Look at that.
This said
What?
Donna Cullen was.
No, I said the Donna Cullen troll is Stelios. He's not even doubting it.
Listen, I get accused of far worse, so I'm happy to take it. I'll take it. I'll be Donna Cullen.
Thank you all to the 137 something people that were all watching at one time, and then the total amount of people that were watching was like something like over 1,000. So in total views. So thank all you guys for watching the show. We appreciate it a lot here. Make sure that you hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't hit it already. And we will be back. I guess the next show is the Monday night podcast. I think. We're doing Monday night, right? Still.
Yeah, we're doing Monday every Monday. That is our bread and butter.
Yep. So the next show here on the channel. I mean, obviously, I'm sure Iggy might do a couple of Good Morning Tottenham Aways and stuff like that. But the next show that you can see live, the next live show that we'll be doing, it'll be the Monday Night Podcast, which is 8:30 UK time, 3:30 here in the US Eastern. And then watch alongs Tuesday morning, THFC Ranch show Tuesday night, going over the game, the post-match analysis. At some point in time, I was going to talk about it today, statistics over some of the new signings, but we never got that far. 3.5 hours in the show, we never got there.
Too much time talking about Wags.
We can talk about it. We still got time, right?
No, we don't have
only
time.
11:30. It's still 11:30.
No, we don't have time.
I was like, nope.
And then all that other good stuff. We will be back for that. Persuasion TV. Eugene just threw the link in there.
Throw your own link in there. Throw your own link in there, Elias.
My link. Go give me a minute.
And
you can find me in Wales
91
rooting
people
for Wrexham.
watching, so there's a lot of people that are going to do that.
Oh yeah, how's Wrexham doing, Connie?
Okay, we'll save that for next time. We'll talk about Wrexham next time.
By the way, Will, why am I not a
Ending the
mod
show,
on your
Eugene.
channel?
Huh?
Why am I not a mod?
We can discuss that backstage as well. All these subjects we can talk about.
New manager, new players, back them. Old
And
players.
And people wonder why I'm aggressive at the end of the show. All right.
Okay,
Screw
what about
you guys? We're out of here. Stay strong, stay Spurs. We'll see you next time.